Kaklolo Ajiman the fifth to give us the opening prayer. Please, with a round of applause, let's welcome Togbe.
Thank you very much. My brother actually butchered my name inside out. The name is Togbe Kosinyi Kakaklolo Ajiman the fifth. Shall we be upstanding as we pray, please? Almighty God, we want to say a big thank you to you this morning for your goodness and your mercies over our lives. We thank you so much for the grace that is abundant in our lives. Thank you for bringing us here together once again. We also thank you for what you did for us yesterday. You took us through a successful lunch, and today we are here again to continue to have further discussions regarding the industry which you have made NITA to be the head. We ask that, Lord, your presence shall fill this place, that you yourself will direct affairs here. We pray that we shall leave this place with testimonies and have a lot to share about the ICT week that we propose to celebrate starting from next year and beyond. I pray that, Lord, you bless this industry, that you make the work of NITA successful as well. We thank you in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Togbe, and thank you for the correction. Okay, so if you want to go to the washroom, outside onto my left is the gents, and outside onto my right is the ladies. So if you want to use the washroom, please, or you can see any of the ushers to direct you. So I believe we have presentations by eSolutions ready. Okay, so please, I'd like to call on the rep for eSolutions, Mr. Gabi, to kindly come up while we get the presentation ready. Please, let's give him a round of applause as he does this. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and I want to say a big thank you to NITA for the opportunity to showcase this all-important, innovative system to all of us. If the slides are ready, I'll begin. Okay. So my name is Gabriel Adela. I'm the senior consultant for eSolution and also the program manager for the Smart Workplace. I'm happy to present this to you. I'm excited because of one thing, because of the impact that this particular solution is able to deliver to organizations, and more especially to the government of Ghana. This work started way back 12 years ago as part of our enterprise architecture initiative that we developed as eSolutions Consulting, part of the consulting team that designed the enterprise architecture through our late boss, Solomon Edia. Through that, we started looking at how to really bring about a paperless office within organizations. And so having worked with a number of government organizations and looking at the challenges within the workplace, and as also Microsoft partners, we had to now put together this solution, which has become a very, very important transformative tool. This whole work started, and when this whole paperless drive started, we then had MOS. We then SharePoint came, native SharePoint. And then the whole journey was, how do you put a platform together that will really bring together and drive paperless office? A number of solutions started. We had document management systems that came on the scene. So people started doing some document management system. I remember Documentium. We spent a huge amount of money, $200,000, and implement. Then we realized the challenge is that it wasn't, some of these things were not delivering the kind of digitization and automation that you want to deal with, because they are not designed intuitive to the way we work. And so the challenge was there. And so we had to, as consultants, we had to put together a platform that will really, bring all these silo and point solutions together, because then you have a document management system sitting one side, you have some correspondence system sitting one side, then you have your line of business applications, everything is scattered. And so you realize that integration and having a common platform to render these automation, digitization, and communication was a big challenge. And so we came up with version 1 of Smart Workplace, then on SharePoint. And so, and we started deploying it. Thankfully, 2015, it won the best SharePoint application across Worker, then across global for Microsoft. And we're very excited about this video. It was the first of its kind in Africa and within the region, to have a solution to have that recognition. Following that, we had to deal with verticals. We looked at the education aspects and how it would be tailored to education and so on. And so we started driving that, and it was a huge success story. We are very more happy when the Ghana government adopted it for us to roll out to government organizations, and it's been a very wonderful journey so far. So it became adopted as the Ghana government virtual workplace platform. This slide talks about the common public sector workplace challenges. When we look at within our workplace, the common challenges that inundate us, that we are faced day by day, are one, inability to access information outside of the corporate office. So we realize that whilst we are within, unless because our processes are manual, we have to be within the office. You have to be confined within the four walls of your office before you can do anything. Either you are signing a memo, responding to a correspondence, you have to take an action, approve anything, you have to be in a physical place. So the idea of being able to access information anywhere you go was a huge challenge. Another challenge was spending a lot of time looking for information because of the way our work process are traditionally. It becomes a huge challenge. Documents get missing. You spend tons of hours and hours just looking for that document. And I think that because of our remuneration, we are remunerated in a cycle of 1 month. And so sometimes when we spend 2 hours and it goes to waste, we may not really put value on it. But if you are paid elsewhere in other jurisdictions where you are paid hourly, and you know that, okay, I'm paid $100 per hour each day, you realize that if I spend 1 hour looking for an information and I've not used any intellectual or brain knowledge, it's just a mundane tax, and just $100 is just gone. So the amount of productivity that we lose just doing these mundane tasks, which stress us also, are really, really serious. And if we can quantify it, we realize that, look, our productivity is really, really low, and it's affecting us. And so that's also another major challenge. Then leads to poor records management. When you are looking for documents, you have to chase documents. You can't find this document. I don't know where it is. It's a whole major challenge that we go through. Lack of collaboration. We are not able to collaborate because of the processes. Today, if you go for board meetings, management meetings, you can imagine if it's a proposal, they have to do photocopy of proposals. Everybody photocopy. If there are 10, you have to photocopy all of them, distribute to all of them. If it's a review or a committee work, you have to do all of that. You have to sit down, go through the paper, and have to review. So they capture their comment, each one of them. Then after, somebody will have to come and sit down and try to consolidate, and it's a whole lot of, so lack of collaboration was a major issue. You are not able to collaborate effectively to be able to work faster and deliver value within the workplace. Then also to the main one, complex and manual processes. Our greatest challenge for many of us within the traditional way of working is that it's manually driven. It comes with all the challenges of delays, lack of visibility. You don't know where the document is. You don't know. You have to keep on doing some legwork, chasing and walking about. So in the day you come to work, you have to be walking about and sending errands. So we have people dedicated just to be doing that for us, because it has become a major part of our work process. That people you have to be sending people to follow up on files and documents where they are, because there's lack of visibility within the whole process and chain and workflow chain. And so it's also a major challenge. Then large volumes of paper. We are swimming in paper everywhere, and all of these comes to huge cost within us. You'll be amazed at the paper budget for most organizations, but it's a budget line that is a necessity. You can't do anything about it. Largely, unfortunately, some of us, we are ready to buy the paper rather than put IT systems that will automate it and then take away the paper, unfortunately. And so we are looking at how do you adopt a new way. Technology has come as an enabler to drive change, to drive the way we work, to work smarter, to work more efficient, to work more productive. And so how do we drive that? And Smart Workplace helps us to be able to transition from the traditional workplace environment, which is keenly manually driven and low productivity, to a smarter workplace where we have automated processes and being able to work and have access to work anywhere, anytime. And it's all about transformation. There's a way we have been working for, years, for decades. And we have been trying to drag the log, and it's full of energy and power and manually driven, stressful. But IT is bringing new ways to drive change where we can work more easily, more faster, more convenient, more productive, and that is what this delivered. Conceptually, the conceptual view of the Smart Workplace is to address that. The base and the one, and we're very excited about, when Microsoft, especially much more outdoored the Microsoft Office 365, which really becomes a platform which brings all the productivity tools within workplace in one package. And so we leverage on that. So with that, and so the core and the base, or the platform that drives this, is really Office 365. Please, can you go back to the slide? You are moving a bit faster for me. Okay, thank you. But this concept, I just want to speak more to that. So with that, the Smart Workplace is deployed on the SharePoint, which is a component of the Office 365 bundle. But because of a common platform with communication, collaboration, it delivers better value. So if you look at your workplace, it handles all your communication and collaboration tools. With Smart Workplace on top, then it drives your whole paperless office and virtual office strategy. So you have within the Office 365, you have your enterprise business email, which is reliable, resilient, and all that. You don't have any challenge that my mails are not dropping, I'm having any challenge. No, you have the comfort and assurance that it's reliable 24/7. It also comes with key application, audio and video conferencing. As of today, I believe that this is one tool that has become necessary in terms of communication and collaborating within the workspace, where we are able to do video conference and so on, and it's all on one single platform. It also comes with your office productivity tools, so where you have your Word, Excel, and everything also. So you have one bundle that handles that. It has so many other applications. Then the call which we need for the Smart Workplace, which is the SharePoint aspect, which is also key. It has OneDrive to deal with your space, your storage. And so all of these are bundled together, and you have the best platform to really drive some of these initiatives. Please, next slide. Thank you. So it has a whole portfolio of productivity applications available for you to use. And so we want to encourage everybody to really take advantage of it, and so that you can really deliver more value and productivity to your organization. So with it, with your Office 365, the beauty is that some people have 3 phones, some 7 phones. I'm yet to see someone with 7 phones. But some are having multiple devices, tablets, and so, the licensing structure of even the Office has been moved from just per device to now user-based. So each user is entitled to download and install the Office to about 15 devices. So, your tablet, your PCs, you have genuine licenses to be able to install to work effectively. With this, you're able to work remotely anywhere you are, access all your devices, and also manage your devices as well as to ensure effective data security. Next slide. The Smart Workplace, this is just to give us an overview of the portal, and the whole concept is to provide a one-stop shop for your workplace. So when I come to my digital dashboard, I should be able to, through one single platform, have it as my virtual office and do every business I want to do as a staff or as an employee. And so it becomes the gateway, the platform for each organization. The beauty also is that this is customizable and branded per your corporate colors, your corporate brands, and so you feel really at home that, look, this is my workplace, and you are able to work. It comes with, please, let me talk a bit about it. So it comes with a corporate workspace where you are able to have your calendar, your email, and all of that stuff. You're able to get announcements. So instead of sometimes having your native notice board where it's a pull, you have to go there and read, which people hardly do that. With this, it becomes a push. You have an electronic announcement or circulars where you push information to all staff. Any information relevant is all on one platform. You are able to search for documents. If you want to search for any document, it's made available. Just a click, and you're able to search for every single document or item that you have access to. And it's an enterprise search. You also have your email. You also have a shared document. I'll talk more about that, which is your document management. And the beauty is that this is rendered in the way you are working. And so I don't need to log on to another system to go and put files there. No. On a single platform you are working, you go there, you drop your files there, you copy files, you share files, you sync files, you collaborate, everything in a very intuitive and easy way. From there, you also have your staff hub where you can have discussion forum, a staff directory to know about every staff, to interact, and so on and so forth. We also have personal workspace, which deals with my tasks. If there are any tasks assigned to you, you are able to manage all your tasks. It's not a case, I've forgotten to do this task. No, every workflow automated task is synced. And so when you come to work, you go to your tasks, you're able to see all the various tasks assigned to you, everything pending your action, you're able to see that to get it done. You also have other tools which I will discuss more about memo. You have your memo, you have your correspondence, you have personal documents, you have IT help desk, more like a mini, just a ticketing system to manage any request for IT to be able to support the business. You also have media, library, gallery, which is also very key. With the media gallery, we do a lot of events like this one, and we take the pictures. When we go back as NITA, where do we put the pictures? It's on somebody's PC. So, the staff are not able to really relive the moment, follow through. Oh, we organize, So there is a content management platform which is able to handle all your media-related stuff, even including your e-learning platforms, documents that you need to share and for others to learn, all of those multimedia, all of those learning materials, all of those social interactive pictures and photographs and all of that are also available for you to be able to put there. Then we come to the service request where you are automating your workflows. So all your business workflows, and for a start, from your administrative processes to your core business processes, you are able to automate that. These are custom processes, so we sit with each business process owner, the the process owners to understand their business process, document it, prepare a workflow, and then go into development. And it makes it very, very effective. You're able to do everything from leave. So you automate, you want to go and leave, you're not going to pick any form or paper or anything. You just, through the portal, you just click in, fill in your leave form, automatically route to your manager to recommend. It goes to HR. If it's approved, you are notified to go on your leave. You resume, you notify you are back. Your line manager confirms that indeed you are back, and then we can close it. And so it handles all your leave management. You also have payment requests, especially payments, where all your payments are also workflows are also automated for you. You don't have to be sitting there. I don't know where is the payment, where is the invoice, where has it got into, who is it with? No, you have full visibility across the chain where you can track and see it's currently with the cashier or it's currently for voucher approvers, and you are able to get everything done. And so it automates the entire process for you to make it very, very effective. I'm truly excited about this. So it can handle so many of them. Your procurement process is all automated, so as many as you can imagine. Some organizations have automated close to about 30 workflows, so you can just imagine. So it will handle a lot of your automations for you to really drive paperless office. And that's where you want to go to. And so whether you're a chief executive, you're a manager, you're a director, wherever you are, you can work. You can work. I'm very excited. This solution has gone across. It's now being deployed all over Africa. In Senegal, we are in Senegal, we are in Cote d'Ivoire, we are in Congo, Brazzaville. We are also deploying also in Kenya. And that's a very huge success story. Trust me, we received a delegation just a few weeks ago from Cote d'Ivoire and to come. And I just called one of the good references for the first time. FDA, and we just went there. I was blown away. They use it for everything. And just because of this particular, they decided in January that they were going to work 2 days in person, 3 days at home. And the Smart Workplace was able to drive that just because of Smart Workplace. Why? Because you don't need to come to office to do anything. The chief executive is approving everything. Any correspondence that comes to her, she initiates that through the system. It goes through memos, everything goes through payments, everything goes through, and the payment is very easy. When we started, the typical nature of accounts, I want to see this thing, I want to see this thing. We said, okay. We said, it will help because almost all majority of memos will end up into payment. And then when it comes to accounts, then you now want to print out and then process the manual within you. He realized that it was getting difficult. So when he started now, he said he came to call and said, please. And when we did it for him, a year on, it's the best thing for him. Auditors come, he just gives them access and they are able to just track everything. Okay, these are the documents, this is the process, this is the flow, this is the audit trail, and everything is done. No need looking for where is this document, where is this voucher, where is this invoice, where is this attachment, and everything is scattered. It brings everything together into focus and makes the whole work for you very, very easy. And so we really want this is a huge transformation platform to really drive paperless office and automate your processes. We also have other components, correspondence, which I'll touch on. Next slide, please. So the beauty, like I mentioned, is that you are able to work anywhere, anytime, on your mobile devices, on your tablets, on your PCs. Your workplace, you are not tied to a particular device. And so if I don't sit by this computer, it means I can't work. My documents and everything are on that particular desk and PC. No. You travel, you are in a workshop, wherever you are, you want to reference any document, you just log in, and then you have access to your own document. So your workplace goes with you everywhere you go. And that is the beauty you want to have. And so we want to encourage everyone, let us all come on board. Let us drive this to transform our organizations. Next slide, please. Key components, I think I've mentioned some of them. We can skip this. The document management is designed to, and the way we've designed is that it's designed according to your organogram. And so how you are structured as an organization, we break it down. And so we have libraries for all the various departments and all the various offices. We have it there. The red ones you see are corporate documents or shared documents. We just make them different, where every document or content that must be accessed across the organization, it's put in one place. Whilst all the other offices will have their own dedicated document libraries where they go into work and share their files based on the access that they have. And so you have it laid out. If I'm in, let's say, finance, I don't need to see all of this. I come in, I only see corporate documents and finance, that's all. So depending upon the libraries where you have access to, then you'll be able to view them. And it makes it very easy. Through the document management, you are able to create documents, Word, Excel. You can co-author documents. You can review documents together. If I need to review a document, management meeting, I just share the document, and everybody captured their views, and it's all in sync. I can even tell what comment a colleague is making in live mode. So it can be very interactive. No need photocopying and sharing and holding bulk documents around and carrying them, and I've left it. It can't happen. You're able to work smarter on this. I want to encourage everybody, let's really take advantage and drive digitization across our offices. Next slide, please. The most important for me is memo and correspondence. Having worked, and across for, over, I think about 70 to 80 years within the public sector, I can tell you, if there is a lot of us have tried to automate, try to use IT to drive, and the challenge is there. The truth is that without driving and automating your correspondence and memo, you have a very long way to go. You have a very long way. If you've not heard anything at all from this presentation, this is it. This is it. Oh, let's do an HR system. And you see, you are struggling for them to use because they are stuck with the memo. They are stuck with the paper. And so all the other initiatives you are doing, they are even finding it difficult to come and log to the system and now be typing something. Because every time he comes to work, he's writing like this. Any instruction, somebody comes to work, every instruction that he or she must work with, if it's important, it's on the memo. Any other thing is not on the memo. So you are even struggling to get your staff to even use email because the email is not important to them. The information, the work he has to do is not in the email. The work he has to do, which he will be accountable for, is on the memo. Please, attention this, please. And so when he comes to work, he's not looking for email. He's not going to open email. Well, he doesn't need the email. Email is just maybe some, luxurious thing, maybe to share card or send. No. So for me, anything important for him or she to, it's on the memo. So if you don't automate the correspondence and memo, please, you have a long way. Every single place we've gone that they've automated, they've adopted the correspondence is the major and the most impactful transformation across. This is what begins the whole paperless journey. Automate the correspondence. Automate the memo. And that is it. Because they are now used, when the person comes to work, everything, what he has to work with is on the system. The memo is on the system. The correspondence is on the system. They are now used to it. Now, they don't want to see paper. They will now be forcing you and be calling you, why are we still doing it? Oh, can't you automate this one? Oh, why are we still handling this paper? Because the whole change, a cultural change has happened. They don't want to handle the paper again. And until you do away with the memo and correspondence, you have a long journey to go with your transformation and driving paperless office. It's very easy. You create memo, draft memo, send memo, and you can track. You have visibility, you can track it, you can reassign, and it's very easy. We've developed it very, very flexible for anyone to use. You can reassign, like just the seamless way the memo flows with the organization, no restrictions. You're able to do that, copy people, assign people, and that is the way it is. We want to encourage everybody to really, really adopt and use this to transform your organizations. Next one, please. We can run quickly the rest. Then you can automate other processes as well. These are the key drivers. The major key objective for this whole platform is to drive paperless office. And if you want to do that, this is the platform for you. And government has invested so much through the initiative of the Ministry of Communication and Digitalization and NITA, and I think that is one of the best initiatives. We want to encourage everybody. Let us all do this and make it happen. I'm having calls. We are receiving calls all over, like I mentioned, across Africa, Kenya. I mean, in next 2 weeks I'll be in Kenya. And they are arranging a whole presentation because it tells what has to be done. And so please let us all drive this and make the necessary impact that we want. Improving efficiency of your business processes, giving you insight and your reporting. Makes your reporting very easy. Like I used, for example, the case I used for FDA account. The reporting is not very easy. At the end of each month, he can just generate a report at a finger. And one of the challenges that have led to a lot of the delayed in the processes we have in our public sector is simple. Because of the lack of visibility, everybody wants to control. So sometimes, for example, maybe a process comes and it's supposed to be sent to a schedule officer. The director don't know if something has come through. Because of that, he's forced to say, bring it to me. And so many of us, we are here. We are not the one going to work on that document, but it has to, it's on our decks. And we are here until we get back before we push it to the person to work. And it's all the delays. But if it's automated and you are copied, you can track every task, every process. You don't need to come to you first before it goes to the person to work. Whatever your team member is doing, he's the one who is going to work on it. You have visibility. And so it shortens your work process, makes it more efficient. You are working smarter. You are working more faster. And then reducing paper cost. And I mean, the cost of toner is a lot. Toner, printing, paper. It reduces all of these operational costs for us. Let's take advantage. I think I've talked enough about the process, the business benefits, secure email, virtual office, total visibility. You're able to work together, business automation. You have a more professional outlook. You are more confident when you come. You're not carrying some paper. You're carrying executive tools, IT tools. You're able to work everywhere, and it reduces operation. Across from presidency to everybody's being used. We are deployed to over 500 government organizations and want to encourage everybody. If you are not yet on board, please be on board. And if you are only, some of you are on board, but you're only using email, please, you are only, the main business benefit is to use the correspondence, the memo, the portal to drive your paperless office. And I'm very excited that I have a number of organizations here. SEC is here. It has transformed their work. Free Zones is here. It has transformed. SIGA is here. It has transformed. The references are many. NPR, so many of them. And so we want to encourage everyone, please, let's adopt this and drive it. Security sometimes is one of the concerns many of us say. Trust me, it's the most reliable system you can ever have. Cybersecurity is a shared concern. And as much as it is, we want to leverage on all of these to be able to deliver. And so government partnership with Microsoft is to ensure that we rather have a more stronger and resilient systems, more secure systems to help us. And so please let us not rather, and sometimes the frustration is that whilst you want to drive this, the IT people are rather sometimes the greatest hindrances. The business person wants it done now, but IT is coming up with all kinds of excuses. No, it's going to make your work rather easier. Makes you more valuable in your in your organization. When NITA deploys this to you, all you need to do is simple. you manage the platform. And so you even become more effective. NITA is not going to be managing every day, create library. No, you are trained to create your libraries, organize everything yourself. So please, let's all try to embrace this to drive the transformation that we all desire in organizations. I want to thank you all, and I want to thank NITA DG for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel Della. So we'll have a Q&A session. We'll have a Q&A session after the various presentations. So I'll kindly ask that you note your various questions down. When we get to that session, then you ask for your various, you share your various questions. Next up, we have Mr. Michael Kwabla from the Smart Infraco, the Chief Technology Officer. He'll be doing a presentation for Smart Infraco. Presentations are 15 minutes, so please, let's go with that. Please, let's give him a round of applause. A very big one.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, so Smart Infraco, today we are partnering with NITA. We started this journey in May 2021, and what the partnership is about is that we manage NITA infrastructure. We also commercialize the infrastructure to make sure that the infrastructure NITA is having, we bring value to it. Let's go to the next slide. So our aim is to provide an enabling environment for digitalization is having, and the government Eastern Corridor of Ghana. Okay, it's 1,200 kilometers backbone fiber. They also have metro fiber in Ho, metro fiber in Tamale, and metro fiber in Accra. And most of this fiber infrastructure, they are rings that provide resilience should in case service go off in one session of the network, automatically is rerouted to other sessions of the infrastructure. NITA is also having world-class data center. I'm sure most people don't know. NITA has a data center which is tier 3, and I'm sure most of you after this session will find it interesting to visit NITA, look at the infrastructure, and you'll be amazed the kind of infrastructure they have. All right, if you see the cooling towers, huge cooling towers, huge capacity gensets, the data center is powered through different substations, 2 substations. It has huge generators that support it. It has UPS. Actually, that data center we have provides service availability of 99.95. It's a data center that provides you assurance of service that you send there. It also has another data center in Kumasi, which is tier 2. It has been certified by Uptime. The design is certified, it's tier 2. The Accra one is going to be certified by the end of this year, tier 3. And we believe that whilst we provide this kind of improvement on NITA data center, all of you will be comfortable to bring your services to the data center. NITA is also having LTE infrastructure scattered across the whole country in all the regions, and it provides fixed wireless service to individuals, to businesses in terms of internet connectivity. Then we also have contact center and state-of-the-art network operation center. This network operation center is run 24/7. It monitors every infrastructure at the data center. All the applications, all the network services are monitored. And we make sure that service availability that we guarantee to users or our customers are always in the right agreements that we have. Let's move to the next. So if you look at the Eastern Corridor fiber infrastructure, it starts from Accra all the way through Sumenya, Ho, Pandu, Jasikan. When we started this partnership, the capacity on that infrastructure was just 1 gig. Today, it is 10 gig capacity. Because of this program that the government is doing, Transform projects, which is providing connectivity to 951 agencies across the whole country, we are increasing the capacity from 10 gig to 100 gig. Point to point, all the stretch from Accra to Boko is 100 gig capacity. It means that all the traffic that's going to come from the Volta region, Oti region, Northern region, Upper East region are going to use this infrastructure. And we are making sure that the challenges that we have on fiber infrastructure in the country, the fiber cards, continuous breaking services, today we have managed service partners who are patrolling this link, ensuring that when there's any road construction closer to the infrastructure, we relocate the infrastructure to prevent any service outage. And it's going to play a very critical role in the next couple of years for the whole country. Let's go to the next slide. All right, so this is just to talk about the fixed wireless connectivity that we provide on the LTE infrastructure. Next slide. Okay, so a bit of what we do. Let me be a bit brief on this slide. So in terms of digital and technology services, what we provide is open access, neutral carrier services at a data center. So if you bring your service to a data center, we have all the cable landing stations present there. We have all the major telecom providers present there. We provide connectivity at the data center. So you have different variety of services that you can take from the data center. And what we assure you is that once you bring the data center, your service to the data center, it is monitored. I'll go through some of the services that you can get from the data center. Then we provide managed network, okay, infrastructure as a service. So every infrastructure that you bring to the NITA data center, you'll be sure that it is fully managed. Whatever infrastructure you bring at our co-location sites, I'll go through all of them. We have at the L3 sites, we call them POP sites, point of presence sites. These sites are sites that are fully managed with reliable power setup. So once you bring your services to those infrastructure, we manage them for you. We assure you the kind of service availability that you sign for you. Then we have partnership with international telecom organizations like Tech Mahindra, like Tata. What they do is that they have center of excellence across the whole world. So in India, in the US, in the UK. What they do is that they provide training for our engineers. They provide their solutions. So they have cloud solutions that they deliver to organizations across the whole world. They make that services available to us. And we also make sure that they bring the expertise in Ghana. So today, if you come to our offices at Marina Mall, 6th floor, we have engineers from Tech Mahindra who sit to make sure that whatever services that we are delivering today meet the standard that they have across the whole world. That's the kind of assurance that we have. We also have what we call the government cloud infrastructure. It's a huge infrastructure that the government is having. It got deployed last year, and trust me, it's a service that when you come to take, or you come or go through some of the services that you can take from the cloud, you'll be assured that you don't need to go to AWS, you don't need to go and build your own data center, you don't need to invest in data center infrastructure, because this infrastructure that has been deployed delivers everything that you have or you can get from AWS, all the services that you can get. And the way the data center is structured in terms of monitoring, in terms of service availability, you are sure that your services are not going to go off and you get value for your money. And when you bring your service to the data center, just go ahead and do your business. Leave the rest of the technical aspect to us for us to manage. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, a brief about what we do. So in terms of network solutions, today we provide co-location as a service. in terms of network. So all the POP sites that we have across the country, you can come and co-locate your services, your infrastructure with us. We also provide internet connectivity. We have high capacity internet uplink capacity with 2 different providers, which are reliable and also resilient. We also ensure that we have Ethernet connectivity. We also provide MPLS connectivity. I also mentioned about the Eastern Corridor. Today, most of the mobile network operators, the high-end ones, like the one we know, they all take capacity from NITA, okay, on the Eastern Corridor. We have MTN, Vodafone, Airtel, relying on what service that we deliver to them. Some of them are taking 10 gig capacity on the Eastern Corridor. Dark fiber is being taken from the Eastern Corridor. And we have VOBIS. Most of the ISPs also take service from us from the Eastern Corridor. On the data center solutions, we provide virtual private service. We provide co-location at the data center. We provide storage as a service. We monitor services. The most critical one is security today. We also have security as a service. Most people don't know, but NITA is having what they call security as a service. Security Operations Center. What they do is that every infrastructure or applications that are hosted at the data center are monitored 24/7. Okay, today we have on-premise DDoS solutions. We know what is happening in Kenya, South Africa, the kind of risk, the threats that we are having today. We have DDoS deployed. Currently, we are also deploying a cloud DDoS solution. So we have hybrid DDoS solution that you are sure that the kind of attacks that other countries are having, when you have your services, your infrastructure in the NITA data center, you are secured. In terms of cloud, like I've mentioned already, we provide storage as a service, platform as a service. Next slide. Okay, so today, Smart Infraco is recognized as a trusted partner of government institutions, okay? So when we started this journey with NITA in 2021, a lot of investment has gone in, all right? For instance, the Kumasi data center was totally shut down, all right, for several years. Today it's up and running and it's managed, monitored 24/7. We've also done a lot of investment in Accra data center. Today, when you go there, hardly would you have any issues about service outages. Like I mentioned, you are short of 99.95 service availability. On the Eastern Corridor, most of the fiber infrastructure was just not in good condition, okay, in terms of maintaining them. Today, we have rectified all the sections along the Eastern Corridor. We've buried the cable 1.2 meters down. And what is interesting is that you are working with a regulator who owns infrastructure and who is monitoring you, who has so much interest in the infrastructure and the service you are delivering. So they'll come to audit the infrastructure. They come, and most of the users that we have are government institutions. All the escalations goes to NITA. So if you have a partner who is receiving escalations and also holding a cane or trying to whip you, you'll always be in line. So we make sure that we provide guaranteed service availability. And in the past, there was nothing like SLA signs with clients or customers. Today, any customer that comes to take service from NITA or from Smart Infraco, we sign a contract. And in the contract, we make sure that service availability are put in a contract. And we guarantee you that service availability. And we make sure that if there are issues or any challenges within the agreed SLA, within 4 hours, within 2 hours, within 3 hours, we have engineers today who are ready to attend to the service. So like I mentioned, most of the infrastructure we have or the facility we have at the data center today are having managed service partners. We have OEMs, contract with OEMs, contract with the vendors, who today, when there are issues, we can follow on. You call them within 3-4 hours, they are attending to the issue. Okay, sorry. Next slide. Okay, so just some of the things that I've mentioned. We have revamped the infrastructure. We've done a lot of investment on infrastructure. And it's not only providing infrastructure. In the telecom industry today, you need to have partners. You need to have infrastructure as you share. So with agreement with other telecom providers, ISPs, that assist us, we also assist them to deliver services to clients. In June, we did a survey for about 127 of the clients that we have today, and we wanted them to just give us feedback. Right? Interestingly, about 68% of them said our service was very satisfied. They were satisfied with our service. Okay, we had 5% that said it can be improved. And this kind of survey gives us the impetus, or gives us the assurance that whatever we are doing today, we are doing right. And there's this directive from the government that, look, because of the infrastructure improvement that we have today on NITA, all government institutions are expected to take their connectivity from NITA, or at least their DR, in terms of data center, is taken from NITA, because the infrastructure is working. The infrastructure today has improved. There are a lot of investment that has gone into that infrastructure. Okay, and like I mentioned, MTN, Vodafone, all of them are taking capacities from us from the Eastern Corridor, and they are happy with the service we are delivering them. Okay, because when there were issues those times, it takes quite a longer time to restore them. Today, when issues happen on the infrastructure, within 3-4 hours, the issue is resolved. We also make sure that whatever we're delivering today is neutral to everyone who comes to us. Whatever service that you want, you come to the data center, you come to our co-location site, you get it, and you can connect to each or whatever service provider we have at the data center. If MTN, Vodafone, or the provider carrier cable landing stations, when you want to have connectivity to them. Today, we have Orange, we have Tata, who want connectivity to Burkina Faso. They come to us and say, oh, look, I want service this area. Can you cross-connect me? We provide those services to them, and they are happy. All right, so next slide. Okay, so let me land here. So what I want to end with is that today we have a partnership arrangement with NITA that is working, and you can be sure that NITA, who is the regulator and also has interest in the infrastructure, is assuring that whatever service that we are delivering today meets the expectations of the customers that we have. And we also have engineers, we have partners who are available to support whatever we are delivering today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michael Kwabla, the CTO for Smart Infraco. Data center availability, 99.95%. Okay, so next up, do we have the people from World Technology Forum to do their presentation? Okay, great. So please, let's give him a round of applause as he comes up to do his presentation quickly. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Ohene Asante Brimpon, Executive Secretary for the World Technology Forum, and also acting as a Secretary to the Legislative Drafting Committee for CSET. Thank you so much for having me this morning, and my work is very simple. To present on the World Technology Forum. What is it about? I'm sure yesterday we've been hearing a lot about the Tech Forum, but this presentation is to simply tell what the World Technology Forum. But before I go on, this is it. We are not doing a new thing to the world. When we mention the nomenclature of the World Tech Forum, we are not the first country to doing something like this. There are governments and other international bodies that has come. Some have even 50 years ago. We know about the World Economic Forum and all that. But we are using this as a concept and a model that we can use to explain what we want to do in Ghana, the country at the center of the world, and why we must sell our story to the globe, the West African sub-region, and the African continent at large. So please, the media team can make my video ready, and we get ourselves ushered into the presentation. Thank you so much.
What will the world look like in 5 years? How about 15 years? How about 30 years? How about 15 years? How about 30? How will we educate when programming has become the first international language? How will we travel when we don't need to know the way? How will we heal when new organs can be printed on site? How will we work when our job is a thing of the past? How will we interact when virtual reality becomes the new reality? These are the questions that will shape our world, our governments, our families, our future. Introducing the World Government Summit, an international world-class event bringing together 3,000 world leaders from over 100 countries. Innovative perspectives on 50 of the future's most pressing questions in healthcare, education, technology, cities, and society. Asking tomorrow's questions today. Join the conversation. World Government.
Yes, so before I go on, let me say that the world is growing so fast, to the point that what you see today is not what you see tomorrow, rapidly. But how do we catch up with this change? How do we catch up with this accelerated pace of transformation? And that is going to be the job of the World Technology Forum, right here to be headquartered in Ghana, and also to be hosted by the West African sub-region and the African continent at large. Before I go on, let me give a very big thank you to the Director General of the National Information Technology Agency, the man who I refer to as a visionary public servant. Can we give me a round of applause? And the team, I cannot mention name, but the team at NITA has been amazingly good to us. Thank you so much. So please, the World Tech Forum, and quickly knowing what it is. The forum is established as a global platform for public-private cooperation with the purpose of empowering global leaders to shape the future for the better through application of technology, innovation, and creativity. We all know what technology has done to this world. For the past almost 5 decades, we know the role. From yesterday till now, we've been talking about National ICT Week, the World Tech Forum, we've mentioning technology. But let's pause a bit and ask ourselves, what is Ghana's role in the international community? The African continent as a body, what are we doing? How are we captured in the global technology dialogues and the conversation? And that is going to be the work of the Tech Forum. Tech Forum will be a trusted platform for stakeholders of global society to integrate and aggregate our efforts to improve the state of the world after the pandemic and other global crises currently or which may arise. And we also aspire to execute this through the power of collaboration so that we can successfully solve problems which are shared national challenges. Yesterday, our Honorable Deputy Minister, who launched the forum for us, made mention of something. Collaboration, the key word, collaboration. I believe that the Westerners are not doing anything better than we can do. They are able to synergize. They are able to consolidate on their individual strength. There is a statement that goes that we can't be united, but yet operate in silos. Let's bring the three arms of government seated here. We ask them the questions of why are we here, and how can we live here, and what do we have to do? The forum will also be strategically positioned for engagement with a diverse community of stakeholders to shape the future in the most innovative ways of integrated and holistic mechanisms in the area of diplomacy. I was told diplomacy is powerful than authority. So we are going to use the principles of friendship to get these technology giants come and friend with us, come and eat with us, and also live with us in Ghana here. International relations, geopolitics, academia, industry, civil society, government, and also all public sectors. The forum is going to be a platform where we are going to engage international bodies. We know about the ECOWAS, European Union, the G7, the G20, and all that we can think of to come here right here in Ghana. We ask questions of why we can leave our current situation through technology as a catalyst. Our vision. The vision of the World Technology Forum is to become the world's biggest platform for shaping future development through universal access to technology. Its applications, management, governance, and regulations to better the state of humanities, especially in developing countries. Why are we saying developing countries? I know many of us will get offended when we hear developing countries, but I can assure you, when you live here and enter on the street of Choko, Osu, Jamestown, then you get to see if we are developed or we are now developed. But we believe in all these transformations, it is technology that can take us there. Our mission. The Tech Forum has a mission to contribute towards national development and socioeconomic transformation through technological applications in the developing part of our world in a manner that impacts and transforms developing economies to make life better and convenient. That's our tagline, the World Technology Forum, developing nations and transforming lives. We have the basic notion that when a country is developed, there's a probability highly that our members are transformed. We can't compare the lives of the people living in Niger to the lives of people living in US or China. And we believe that when we get our country transformed, the 34 million Ghanaian populations will enjoy quality life. Also, the Tech Forum has the mission to deploy thought leadership strategies which will effectively use technology for national development and socioeconomic transformations in countries facing challenges and crises in development. One of our challenges that we came across with the Honorable Deputy Minister for Local Government is that I lead a community or rural constituency, Akomadan. And at Akomadan, we produce a lot of tomatoes, but when these tomatoes are produced, we face a lot of post-harvest losses. What technology can you deploy? Post-harvest storage, management, and exportation. And it is going to be the job through collaboration and partnership of the Tech Forum. We look at the contextual perspective of the World Technology Forum. Why should we, as a state, Ghana, the West African country, champion the World Technology Forum? Why is it important? Let's ask ourselves these questions. One, we are saying that Ghana is a country at the center of the world, which is a great opportunity to promote event tourism to enable us gain global attention. And I believe this alone is a great gift to us. And this makes me feel that I'm worth being in Ghana. If I have not traveled as a graduate, as an African young man who would want to physically or averagely want to live in US, and I'm in Ghana, I am so proud to be in Ghana. There is only one country at the center of the world, and that is Ghana. Latitude 0 degrees, longitude 0 degrees, the Greenwich Meridian. Scientifically, if you want to calculate time, every country's time is calculated how far it is from Ghana. But technically, how have we been able to sell our story to the global community? And how do we let people understand that come to Ghana, invest in Ghana, and let's grow together? Should we always export from Ghana? Should we always send raw materials? We rank second, Africa, in terms of plantain production. We rank second, the whole world, in terms of cocoa production. What technology can we use to produce chocolate? It is going to be a dialogue, consultations, that the Tech Forum is going to work with national actors to create the change we need. Secondly, we say Ghana hosts the world's largest continental and international single trade market system, which necessitates the need to apply technology and its development and transformation. And we also have a second gift. My example at this contest, we will use European Union. European Union is just 27 member states. Africa has 54 member states. Geographically, we are bigger than European Union. And even per countries, we are bigger than European Union. Nigeria alone carries 270 million population. Germany is 89. Why should Germany be richer than Nigeria? We need expertise. We need knowledge. We need implementation to be able to drive the change we need. And the third, we are saying Ghana is part of the African continent, and we have 65% of the world arable land. Automatically, we are going to feed the globe. And how can we use technology to transform this agricultural productivity that we need? Ghana is endowed with energetic and brilliant young people who are passionate about the pursuit of technology. But for national development and socioeconomic transformation, how do we guide these young people? Today, when you walk on the street of Accra, Circle, you see young people who are operating laptops, and all that they know is to, let me use scamming. And that is what we know, basically. But how can we harness this talent, talk to them, and let them understand that the laptop that you are holding, the iPhone 14 Pro Max you are holding, it is for a better transformation, and you can use it to create economic benefit. It is going to be the job of the Tech Forum through partnership and collaboration. I will move to our intended outcomes. We are basically looking at having strategic and evidence-based policy for technology deployment and implementations. We have a lot of stuff that we are mentioning about technology and all that, but how have we been able to have principled and mechanisms for implementing technology? How does companies understand that technology should transform all our businesses? Through partnership with institutions like NITA, Ministry of Communication, MESTI, and all that, we are going to make sure Ghanaians will understand the role of technology in our daily lives. We are going to establish a coordinated platform for relevant knowledge sharing and information on technological application to accelerate the transformation of developing economies. And we are starting with Ghana. If not for anything, charity begins at home. Let's build our country. Actionable programs and projects for infrastructural development, in science and technology, and innovation sectors. We need projects that can break grounds, establish infrastructure. And I will use an example as intellectual property. As a scientist and as an expert in IP, I believe that one intellectual property can change the lives of Ghanaians. We know how much our government bought the Pfizer vaccine. But I can tell you, Pfizer was not designed by the company known Pfizer. Pfizer was designed by a company called BioNTech, which is a German startup. And BioNTech designed the drug. They don't have pharmaceutical production plant. They gave it to Pfizer. Latest 2020, BioNTech made $15 million US. And at the last quarter of 2021, they made $91 billion US. Ghana, our 67-year-old economy, we are still at 82 billion. A country created a value with just intellectual property in less than 1 year, and it was done at the coronavirus era. I believe that when we train our scientists in technology application, deployment, and technology commercialization, we'll be able to achieve more through the creation of the brain power and also as an intellectual property. We want to institute a strategic mechanism for government to monitor and evaluate public policy outcomes regarding technology to aid economic transformation. Ghana officially adopted technology in 2008 through establishment of a National Information Technology Agency. We had Electronic Transaction Act, and after that, 15 years today, how have we been able to assess these policies, the outcome of the policies, and the institution? We believe that NITA as a public service cannot do everything alone, but we're able to work together. We collaborate, we cooperate, we'll be able to achieve more. There are more powers in collaboration than to work in silos. We want to develop a set of standards, guidelines, and regulatory frameworks to govern deployment of technology systems that will enhance national development. We are going to work on efficient and effective strategic mechanisms for financial resource mobilization to adequately invest in technology systems and infrastructure. Technology is good. It must be made daily commodity, but technology is expensive in our part of the world. How do we access technology? How does the average cocoa farmer access precision drone technology to enhance agriculture? Tech Forum, we are aspiring to do more with national actors. I think next week, KIC will have an event on agricultural technology, and these are some of the platforms that Tech Forum will be partnering with to establish value and transformation for our people. I won't like to take much time. I want to go through the specific contributions in terms of policy that the World Technology Forum would want to do. In fact, we are good in policy drafting. I would want to say that because Ghana, I have taken time to look at the various policies that our National Development Planning Commission does, and I see that we have quality expertise in policy drafting, but we lack implementation. Policies must be coupled with programs and projects to establish it into reality. And there is nothing new we are going to do. We are just going to remind ourselves and show the ways through which public servants and government institutions can get these public policies well implemented. And we are going to implement our policies through certain sectors. One, sustainable jobs and employment creation. We believe that when we're able to create jobs, people pay tax to government make more money, and the people have good life. Trade, industrialization, and processing. We believe when we're able to promote trade in our part of the world, Ghana will do so much well. Communication and digitalization. Yesterday, our Honorable Deputy Minister was here, and we heard all the good things she said. But it cannot be done when we just talk. I believe that we can complement government efforts. Every government has a good thing in it, just that we are so blind to see. But when you open our eyes and focus on the strength of government, not its weakness, we'll be able to achieve more in every administration. We want to talk about agriculture and food security. Why should we lack food in our part of the world? The average Ghanaian lives below $1 a day, and it's so bad. Food security. How do we make food available for the average Ghanaian to enjoy quality life? Education and public literacy. People must understand that technology lives with that every day. And when you know what technology is, how it can transform your life, I think that economically you are empowered. Rural development and infrastructure. GIFEC is doing so much well at the rural level. The Honorable Minister for Communication, Madam Ursula, with girls in ICT, they are doing so much well at the northern sector of Ghana and all the rural areas. But we believe minister cannot do it all alone. We need state institutions, we need civil society, we need academia, we need all actors, traditional authorities. His Royal Majesty Utumfuo, we have big chiefs in Ghana. Not that they can't do it, but they must understand and also know the way to do it. So we have quite a number of policies that we have listed here. Last week, Monday, I was at the Office of the President. I met the Director General of National Development Planning Commission, and he was amazingly surprised of what Tech Forum is going to do. We do well in policy. I took the National Long-Term Development Plan, 40-year development plan. I took the policy that changed Dubai, and I was surprised. In 1971, 2021, they launched Principles of the 50. And within 50 years, Dubai has transformed. Ghana, from 1957 till now, what happened to us? Why can't we do it? Technocrats must not just complain and criticize government. We believe that we can partner with government, and through that we can achieve a lot. So we are going to work with government. We are going to work with public policy makers to implement policy for the good people of Ghana to have a better life. We have National Long-Term Development Policy Plan. We have Medium-Term Development Framework, Local Economic Development Policy, Ghana Digital Policy in pipeline. We are so much interested that when it is officially launched, we will contribute to its implementation. Urban Development Policy, National Youth Policy, Ghana education policy, industrialization policy with the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and all these policies that you know. I would want to talk specifically about the Continental Free Trade Agreement. The average SME or startup in Ghana do not have an idea or do not have a detailed understanding of what the AFTA is about. AFTA is for the 1.4 billion population in Africa. And guess what? We have it right here at our doorstep in Ghana. How can we benefit from it? I believe that technology can create a platform, coordinated, consolidated platform for stakeholders to engage, share ideas, and we know how we can take much benefit of the AFTA. The African Union Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, not the Africa European want for us, Westerners want for us. And how do we establish that platform for our young people to understand? And that is what Tech Forum is going to partner with our stakeholders to talk about. Africa Digital Transformation Strategy, e-solutions, smart infraco, government's workplace, government smart office and all that. We need to look at our continental level and how we can champion it at the national standard. I believe that when we nationally develop in Ghana, other African countries will look at what Ghana is doing. When we rank best, mobile money index, electronic transaction index, we rank top on. Every country was looking at Ghana. So why can't we also look at other places that we can build our strength so that they will come to Ghana, learn from us, and we will be on the map. Now we look at the forum as an organization and not only an event. Literally, we all know we call people to forum to share ideas, but there are existing forums that have set the standard, and they are our aspiration. We can go beyond that if we're able to partner and do more. The forum has put in place well-structured organizational architecture, which will span across all sectors relevant to economic development and societal transformation to conform with quality technological application on education, which we may be working with the National Center for Distance Learning and Open Schooling and all that. We have so many divisions and centers that will focus on key areas in technological deployment to economic development. Our legal establishment. The forum is established to be not just an event, but a global platform for public-private cooperation, which will foster strong solidarity between all entities having roles to play in the world technology landscape. It is incorporated under the statutory laws of Ghana, the Companies Act 2019, in its name, the World Technology Forum Limited by Guarantee, a company limited by guarantee and with the status of international non-profit organization. Our lead partners. Of course, we cannot aspire to be at the global level and want to do it alone. Who even knew Tech Forum until yesterday and today? But we believe that when we're able to partner with the appropriate officers of our land, we will be able to do more. And we cannot say much. We can only walk right to the highest office of our land and speak to the first gentleman to buy into our vision. As I speak to you now, we have good response from the presidency of our land that the World Technology Forum is going to have a headquarters agreement with the government of Ghana. I think it has already been initiated yesterday. That marks a long-standing diplomatic relationship with the World Technology Forum Secretariat and the National Information Technology Agency, where the Director General, with all his vision that he's seen in the Tech Forum, made us sign the service level agreement. And at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I'll crave your indulgence to give it up again for our visionary Director General. I believe that if we had this 2023, we would have had so many things in place. And Director has made a history in the lives of Ghana that we are going to headquarters World Technology Forum in Ghana, and it started from his office. Director, thank you so much. We have communication established with Presidential Advisory Council on Science, Technology, and Innovation. Yesterday, the good news I'm delivering now is that we had a meeting with the Chief Director of the Ministry of Science and Technology, and everything has been established well. World Technology Forum is going to be grounded in Ghana. The Ministry of Communication and Digitalization this afternoon, we will be having a meeting with the ministry, and everything is running so well in the pipeline. I'm so happy with how the state entities are partnering with the Tech Forum, and we believe that our vision are going to make Ghanaians' life so much better. We have institutions like the African Prosperity Network. We have institutions like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Of course, we want to be at the globe, and the ministry must guide us in terms of diplomacy, foreign relations, and protocols. Organizing partners, we have the Ministry of Finance and its agencies. This morning, I saw one of the directors of the Ministry of Education. I think Reverend Tony is around, also representing the ministry. Ministry of Education and its agencies, Ministry of Trade and its agencies. We have the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Arts and Culture. Of course, we are the center of the world, and we want to promote Ghana through event tourism. On my last video, I will show you something about what UAE has done so much well, and everybody wants to be in Dubai. We have the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, of course. We would want to apply technology to food and agricultural production. Ladies and gentlemen, I will complete my speech with a simple quote. And this quote I came across with His Excellency Kofi Busumuru Atta Annan, the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations, a great Ghanaian who ever lived. And it goes, the development of every nation is incumbent on leadership, but the power of administration and execution is vested in government with positions, bureaucracies, and protocols. The government is entrusted with authority of enactment and enforcement of laws, regulations, and orders to ensure peace and just society for policy and development to prevail. In the situation where government fails to deliver the mandate, the people don't have to fail themselves. Rather, must take initiatives that will change society, and the government will learn from them as authorities and sources of power. Leadership is a cause, everything else is an effect. Thank you so much. Media team, please.
Doctor, please, how long is the video? Because you've spent 1 minute.
Since 2013, the World Government Summit has drawn innovative thinkers and decision makers to Dubai to explore pathways to a better future for all humanity.
This is the summit of that nation. A nation that went to Mars, a nation that...
Since 2013, the World Government Summit has drawn innovative thinkers and decision makers to Dubai to explore pathways to a better future for all humanity.
This is the summit of that nation. A nation that went to Mars, a nation that in the Arab world has been in the forefront of modernization. It's also a nation we can count on.
All of us have never dealt with so many shocks at the same time in this time horizon.
You can never let a crisis go to waste, and you have to say in this crisis, what are the lessons we have to take for ourselves?
Resilience and purpose are the two things that actually bring people together and also allow people to actually go through harsh times.
We can better assess, prevent, respond, and recover from the effects of extreme events and the key challenges we are facing.
Peace and stability are critical to secure a brighter future for generations.
Let's have this and imagine if we're able to bring all these ministers of state. When the video ended, you see Facebook Vice President was there last year, and I felt like I cannot have this to myself. I should share. You can just go to online and know more about these things, and we see how best we need institutions to contribute to our development. Europeans cannot have institutions that impose pressure on us. We should also have some and have say in the global market. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you. Okay, please let's give him another round of applause. Thank you very much, Dr. Brimpong. So next is a presentation from GSMA, and that's going to be done by Daniel Tricario, right? Or Tricario. please come and help me. I've done enough butchering today, so kindly come up stage and help me pronounce your name so that. Okay. So please introduce yourself.
Thank you. It'd be great to have the slides go up. I think I have 20 on the program, but I'll try my best to get to 17. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for, can you hear me? Yeah. Well, hello, and thank you very much for having the GSMA at the launch of Ghana's National ICT Week celebration and World Technology Forum. It is an absolute privilege to be here in Accra in person to share with you the GSMA's research on inclusive public service delivery in Ghana as part of the conference's wider objectives of empowering digital transformation for sustainable development. The GSMA is a global industry organization representing the telecoms sector with over 800 member organizations. We unify the mobile ecosystem to discover, develop, and deliver innovation that helps businesses and society thrive. Next slide, please. So, my name is Nigam Shahid. I am a Senior Insights Manager at GSMA Mobile for Development. GSMA Mobile for Development researches and supports mobile and digital technologies for sustainable and socio-economic development across the world with a focus on low and middle-income countries. Next slide, please. Our work focuses on 4 key themes: digital inclusion, financial inclusion, technology for climate adaptation and resilience, and humanitarian response. Next slide. With the support of partners such as the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, with whose support the research I am delivering today, we have impacted to date over 126 million lives. Next slide. All right, so on to the topic at hand today. I'm pleased that I am in an academic space here because what I'm going to be presenting to you is some research that we have done in the last 6 months in Ghana. This is primary field research as well as secondary research, and it looks at how women in Ghana are using digital government services, how this differs from the way that men are using these e-government services, and also on the role that mobile money can play in accelerating women's use of e-government services. Next slide. So, our specific research objectives were to identify the government's digitalization objectives, assess the adoption of e-services by women, identify the gender gaps, and recommend strategies for the better inclusion of women. The research was based on a literature review, a quantitative survey in the regions of Northern Ghana, Ashanti, and Greater Accra, and 18 focus group discussions as well. Next slide, please. So, there is a lot that Ghana is getting right when it comes to digital and digital financial inclusion, and it is a key government priority. The draft digital economy policy has 5 main objectives of universal broadband access for all, enhanced digital skills, efficient public service delivery through a user-centric digital government model, increased growth opportunities for local technology innovators, and faster adoption and use cases for emerging technologies. Notable initiatives in this regard include the Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communications, which seeks to expand broadband connectivity to 2,000 rural communities and has a specific target of ensuring that at least 2/5 of the beneficiaries are women. In addition, through the e-Transform Ghana project, the government of Ghana has been working towards increasing the availability of e-government services overall and better serving the public. Several initiatives and platforms have been introduced, such as Ghana.gov website, which is a platform hosting most of the e-services, mobile membership renewals for beneficiaries of the National Health Insurance Scheme, digital payments of cash transfer interventions, and a national digital identification card system. Ghana also has one of the world's most mature mobile money markets. Yet, there are notable barriers to women's inclusion, starting from access to and use of mobile devices, as well as mobile services. Next slide, please. So you'll see the gender gap here in the chart. Over 9 out of 10 internet users in Ghana use a mobile phone to access the internet. However, the cost of smartphone devices is a major barrier, preventing lower-income individuals from participating in Ghana's digital economy. The average cost of a smartphone is estimated to be $41, which translates to about a quarter of the average monthly income in the country. Given that women's earnings are on average a third of men's wages, the impact on them is disproportionate, reflected in the data on the chart. You also see the regional gaps in smartphone ownership between women from the northern versus the Accra region, and the rural-urban divide in the usage of the internet amongst women, both by 20 percentage points. GSMA's 2023 field surveys in Ghana show that affordability is a major barrier to accessing the internet as well, for up to 38% of female respondents compared to 30% of male respondents. The cost of mobile internet services is further impacted by significant sector-specific taxes, which reduces MNO's resources for infrastructure investment and ability to drop prices. In addition, the e-levy of 1.5%, which was subsequently reduced to 1%, was introduced on P2P mobile money transactions. In May 2022, when the e-levy became operational, it resulted in a 25% reduction in P2P mobile money transactions. Initiatives to reduce associated costs and improve affordability are therefore essential, as women's inability to afford basic digital services means a large part of Ghana's population is excluded from actively participating in the digital economy. Next slide, please. So in the survey we conducted, most women used the government health insurance scheme on the chart above, and a notable number the electricity power app. However, adoption of other e-government services remains low at under 10%, and you'll see that for many of the e-government services, it is quite low. Next slide, please. So our survey found that 40% of women said they were not using e-government services due to lack of awareness and knowledge of the services. 11% said they didn't feel the need for the service. 11% did not have a smartphone. 11% indicated lack of literacy as a barrier, and 10% lack of confidence to use the service as a barrier. Next slide, please. However, 55% of women are willing to use e-government services in skilling programs for women on digital skills. Women, more so than men, are concerned about their safety and security and of being scammed online. And finally, a lack of relevant services in local languages also plays a role in limiting the use of e-government services. Next slide, please. Okay. So we come now to talking about mobile money and how mobile money can facilitate e-government service use. The rapid growth of mobile money services has been supported by enabling policies and advancements in payment infrastructure and interoperability. The Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement System operates as a national payment system infrastructure provider. In 2018, due to mobile money interoperability and the Instant Pay platform, which allows the transfer of funds across various telecoms networks, as well as transfer from mobile banking apps to mobile money wallets, led to a 367% increase in digital transactions in the country by 2020. Despite the growth of mobile money accounts, evidence points to the barriers women face in using the wide range of financial services that mobile money offers. For instance, the GSMA Consumer Survey shows that mobile money accounts in Ghana owned by women are used much less frequently than accounts used by men. Additionally, women entrepreneurs in Ghana lag behind in their awareness and use of non-core mobile money services other than cash in and cash out, which could otherwise add significant value to their businesses. Next slide, please. Specifically, despite growing adoption of digital payments enabled by mobile money, many payments for government services and fees are still not digitized. Ghana has taken the first step towards digitizing most government-to-person and government-to-government payments, which are mostly made via digital channels. For example, the interoperable biometric smart card is used to pay beneficiaries of the LEAP Social Welfare Conditional Cash Transfer Program and personnel of the National Service Scheme. A key challenge, however, is how to develop and expand the digital payments ecosystem so that these funds can be used for other digital transactions rather than being cashed out by recipients. While there have been advancements in digitalizing government payments and receipts in the country, some government-to-business procurement payments are still made via check. This is because the Ghana Electronic Procurement System rollout to public entities is not completed and needs integration with other systems before contract payment can be effected. Further, while Ghana stands out as a market with potential uptake for e-government services, the range of mobile payments for government services, especially P2G and B2G, so that's person to government and business to government, is still limited. There are several use cases for using mobile money or mobile-enabled payments to access government services as listed on the chart. The advantages of digitizing government payments and services include reduced administrative costs, reduced leakage in government revenue, improved transparency, expanded revenue collection reduced risks and costs for users, improved compliance due to convenience, and easy access to basic services and utilities. Next slide, please. Okay. In our survey, fewer women receive government payments, which are mostly for salaries, allowances, and pensions, through digital channels. Approximately 1 in 3 women as opposed to 1 in 2 men. A similar gap is observed between male and female entrepreneurs for government payments to businesses, such as for consultancy services and procurement or supplier costs. Although in this case there is a higher adoption rate, 1 in 2 female entrepreneurs versus 2 in 3 male entrepreneurs. Next slide, please. Okay. While mobile money is used for P2G and B2G payments for public utility bills, taxes, fees, and levies, less than 1 in 5 women from the northern region, that's 16%, have made a digital person-to-government payment, representing the most digitally excluded of the groups surveyed, compared to their female counterparts in other regions, 37% in Ashanti and 47% in Greater Accra. Next slide, please. Similarly, there is a wide gap between the number of men versus women that have made a B2G payment digitally. There are a number of barriers impacting the use of mobile money by women, as reported by women who do not use it. Cost is again the most notable one, followed by safety concerns, lack of knowledge, lack of literacy, and poor connectivity. The mobile money levy implemented in Ghana has increased the tax burden, not only for service providers, but also for consumers. There is also a need for service providers and regulators to address cost perceptions by effectively communicating the value of mobile money services, emphasizing their ability to save time and money, and clarifying the specific associated charges users are expected to incur. There is also a clear opportunity to enhance financial inclusion by increasing knowledge and awareness about exemption policies. Additionally, fear of being defrauded due to prior negative experience of loss of funds from reliance on family, friends, or agents to operate mobile money accounts has proven to be an impediment to greater mobile money usage. And poor connectivity in some areas also remains to be resolved for. Next slide, please. All right, so having laid out that detail, I'd like to share with you some of the recommendations we make in the report to overcome the barriers to both the use of e-government services and mobile money for e-government services by women in Ghana. The first one is the awareness challenge, increase awareness of e-government services. So we recommend that the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization through NITA should develop and implement comprehensive awareness campaigns in partnership with the National Commission for Civic Education, community leaders, and other organizations to educate the public about the availability, benefits, and usage of e-government services. Mobile operators can collaborate with the government to promote e-government services via mobile internet and through the use of mobile money, leveraging MNO's large customer bases and communication channels. And finally, donors can support the government in developing an inclusive plan for spreading awareness of existing e-services to excluded groups, including women, as well as provide financial resources for public awareness campaigns and outreach activities that promote e-government services. Number 2, women's literacy. Boost women's literacy and skills. The Ministry of Education, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, and the Ministry of Communication, Digitalization should develop and implement national digital literacy strategies and policies that prioritize robust digital skills training for those specifically in the informal sector. The Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Ministry of Comms and Digitalization and the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, could expand the role of existing community ICT centers and libraries with training facilities for continuous digital learning opportunities for all, and trained personnel who can assist users in navigating online platforms and utilizing public e-services. Mobile operators can play a role by co-creating innovative digital training programs in collaboration with the government, educational institutions, and NGOs to provide hands-on skills, training, and resources. They can also train and incentivize mobile agents to provide digital skills training and support to customers. Donors can support government in researching specific digital needs and skills gaps to assess the level of women's abilities to use mobile apps, in filling and submitting e-forms, awareness of how to mitigate or spot online scams, to guide the development of appropriate content for women, and also support the development and distribution of digital learning materials and resources that are tailored to their needs. They can collaborate with local NGOs and community mobilizers or groups such as village savings and loan associations to bring digital literacy programs to underserved populations and rural areas. Face-to-face training during members' meetings may prove to be effective in this regard. 3, increased knowledge on how to use e-government services. Government institutions providing e-services should clearly communicate to users the steps involved in the delivery of such e-services and provide real-time status updates, allowing users to track and progress their online requests and understand the next steps required. MNOs can help by ensuring that adequate support mechanisms are in place to assist users in real time, e.g. providing frequently asked questions, tutorials, live chat support, as well as helplines. Trainings need to be integrated on e-government services into existing mobile money trailing through SMS messages or via in-app tutorials. Donors can embed e-government modules in digital training programs offered to disadvantaged groups. Affordability. GIFEC should invest in public Wi-Fi networks to provide free or low-cost internet access in more community telecenters. Policymakers should support additional funding of GIFEC to support women within the low-income bracket access subsidies for digital devices. There is a need to establish public-private partnerships with MNOs, device manufacturers, and other relevant players to subsidize the cost of smartphones and digital services. The Bank of Ghana, Ministry of Communications and Digitalization can incentivize financial institutions and local savings groups to provide microloans to women at lower interest rates. Through the Ghana Revenue Authority, a Ministry of Finance should consider reassessing the benefits of taxes on mobile transactions against the impact on reduction in the usage of mobile services, including the volume of online visits and transactions via e-government platforms. E-government service providers should mandate designers of e-government apps to develop data-light versions to help reduce internet costs for the price-sensitive users. In this regard, MNOs can consider partnering with the government to encourage differential pricing strategies for e-government services, such as lower rates during off-peak hours, for example, And donors can partner with and support the mobile ecosystem on projects that promote affordable handsets. For example, handset financing schemes provided through grassroots NGOs led by women, such as women's saving groups. We have 4 more recommendations, but in the interests of time, I encourage you to please go to our report, which you can find here, and you can read our recommendations on further action points. These recommendations are for government ministries as well as donors and MNOs, and how they can all collaborate to ensure that women are better included in e-service access and use. So thank you very much. That is how you can access the report on that link. And finally, I'd like to congratulate NITA for the launch of ICT Week and the World Technology Forum, and thank them for inviting the GSMA to share our knowledge and research. We do an annual mobile gender gap report. If this is an issue you like to follow, we actually have Ghana as one of our core markets, so you can see how women are adopting internet, smartphones, over time. So please go and see our gender connectivity reports if those are of our interest. Also, just one very quick remark, which is that we are now looking at e-commerce in Ghana. That is an in-depth research. So please, if you are an e-commerce platform, if you use a website to sell your products, if you are logistics and delivery or a fintech, or a regulator in this regard, please do come and speak to me. It would be great to enhance our knowledge on how e-commerce can be scaled in Ghana for our next project. And it would be our pleasure to potentially see you here again next year. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you. I think we can do better for her as she takes her seat. Thank you very much. All right, so time check, it's 12:15, and we have 2 more presentations from MTN and Oracle and DataCell. So I'd like to say that I'm sure those of us who have smartwatches, you've seen that we've been idle for a very long time. So please, let's use 2 minutes to stretch our legs. I know I'm the only one who is feeling cold here, but it's good for us to stretch. Let's get up and stretch a bit just for 2 minutes. Then we proceed with the rest of the program. Thank you. 15-minute presentation, then your various questions that you have noted down, we are going to have a Q&A session. That will take about 20 minutes. Then we'll have closing remarks and have our lunch and then networking session. So please, with a round of applause, please let's welcome Mr. Charles Osei as he comes to do his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. It's afternoon, right? Because we've been sitting here, so we don't know what is going on outside. And it's drizzling, so when you look outside, it looks as if you're still in the morning. Thanks, NITA, and thanks, team, for having us today. So my name is Charles. I work with Oracle, and I'll be doing this brief presentation with my colleague, Kimanwangwa. I think he's just stepped out, but he'll join me later on. Today, what we are doing today is to just agitate our minds a little bit about the topic AI. I mean, I believe that we've all been seeing and experiencing and probably using applications that people call AI. Some of them we term as end-user applications that are AI infused. Some of them go through enterprise applications. It means that a lot of the AI applications are infused into applications that you use in the offices, at home, right? Your kids. And so I'll give you a very fun example of what is happening now with even my kids and their homeworks and AI. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. Don't worry, this we want to present, the one that came is that normally Oracle, when we are doing a presentation, you want to present it in a safe environment. Oracle is a very security conscious company, so we want to make sure that we don't indict a company anytime we do a presentation. So the one we see is what we call a safe harbor, okay? Just to say you are not committed to anything that is going on. You can do this, you can listen to us in a safe environment. So I think that the issue of AI, I think, shouldn't be overblown. It's a reality. And I'm happy all the presentations, I'll probably say AI is running through them. I mean, for example, if you take Smart Infratech, and thank you, NITA, for this, because digital transformation, AI, which I'll show you where it sits within the technology roadmap, you need the necessary infrastructure, and I'm happy to hear that NITA is going in that direction. Without internet, you can access your AI, you can access your applications, you can access your smart applications from eSolutions, for example. And throughout all that, what they've said, you have AI running through them that we don't know. So AI has been with us for a very long time. Initially, it was more to do with machine learning, right? The ability of machines to collect data, and then process it. But most of this was done back office. It means that we didn't really see them. So even though what you are using is AI infused, it means that AI is part of the application you are using. For example, you all use social media, Netflix. Netflix, they recommend movies for you. That is the work of an AI. It is now automated, so that's how people actually going to look at the movies you sent and actually saying, okay, Charles is watching this. That's the work of an AI, but we don't know, but we enjoy it, all right? Now, why AI is where we are today and become a topic is because it is now a generative environment. Generative means generative AI. Like I said, back office, so you don't see it. So the AI will do the work, and then what you see, you don't know whether AI is the one doing. Now, AI has taken over and is driving. So now you are interacting directly with AI. AI is now producing. It is now manufacturing. Can you print me the report for a bank? May I know the number of employees who came to work in December 5th, 2021? If the data is in a system, by just talking to an application infused with AI and programmed as such, it will put the information for you. So AI is now driving, it's now the driver. It's no more the back office again. And therefore, that is why the issue of AI has been a big, but it's been going on for a while. The other thing is, this next slide, please. Next slide, please. The next thing is the issue of digital transformation. That is being driven by both governments and corporate entities. So most corporate entities or government operate this. This is what I call the P&L of enterprise, right? You want to grow your revenue. Governments wants to, GRA, they are into manufacturing, they are into collection, they are into implementation of services. So that is the revenue generation part, right? And then you want to improve your operational efficiency, okay? So the first two, every human being, every enterprise, every government looks at it this way. Now what we are seeing is that first, unlike first where we used to do it manually, it's now being driven by technology, right? So we have mobile now. If you hear of blockchain, it's helping us drive our needs here. Cloud technology, I'm sure you know about cloud technology. You remember smart infrastructure, about how now NITA is able to sell its services based on the cloud technology. Look at where artificial intelligence is. So RAN artificial is identified as a technology that is infused. First, it used to sit here. It wasn't part of what we interact every day. It used to just be at the back, learning and helping the systems work for us. Now, it is talking to us. It's helping us do things. So the question then is, next slide, please. The question then is, how do we take advantage? How do we take advantage of this AI technology, or whatever you want to call it, or machine learning? Because every day, this infrastructure, this is getting better. We are developing more, we're able to process more data. As we have social media, that is channel data, and all this data is able to process the environment, the infrastructure is able to process this data faster and quicker. Now, if you look at what I've just said, first, if you look at, this is a typical, I'm sure the IT guys will be happy to see this, right? So this is a typical where you have the physical. So let me take NITA. NITA is a data center. They have the room, they put, the server, storage, network, So this was first manually being done. Then we started putting AI at the network, the hardware side. That's what I was talking about. So they were around the first three, all right, where they were then helping to fix these things automatically and, giving us to proactively alarm us when there are problems. And most of the time, what they did was they would produce this data, right? And then the human beings would then do the analysis. Okay? Now, it went further to then begin to do the analysis itself, because it's learning, right? It's learning. As it's working in network server, it's now learning. Then it moved to the operating systems that run this infrastructure, right? Then we looked at the database. So the database is where your applications, if you have an application, you have an Apple phone, Android, this sits on a database that sits on this structure, right? So those are where your database is, and those are where your information are read from, and you see it on your laptop. Now what we have is AI is actually scanning and reading and proactively fixing the problems themselves. So now the AI has identified the problems from the physical network server operations database and actually fixing them. They're not even telling you again. First, they used to tell us that, oh, you have a problem. The real self will go and fix it. Now it is fixing them. Then you moved up, right? You produce data, so you need to store it. The AI is now able to fix it. If there's a problem, store it, recommend how best even to manage, because you are producing a lot of data now, you can imagine. So you need to be smart about how you store this data. Now AI is doing that. Then now it has gotten to where now we are in our application. So it's moved all the way up, right? And right now it is talking to us. It's with us now. So again, as a country, as a people, as a continent, I'm talking about Africa, most of the time what happens is that we are not inventing anything. And I'm happy that World Technology Forum, I call it WTF, right, is with us. I know for sure, because I'm interacting with DJ. AI will be part of what we call the select group. I'm sure they'll have committees. AI is very important, because as much as it has its own advantages, it comes with its own challenges. And for Oracle, where our focus is, of course, is we are not producing what we call end-user applications. So you will see an Oracle, an AI application talking to you. But a lot of the applications that you use, whether it's customer experience applications, whether it's financial applications, whether it's account applications, all of them has AI infused in it. So every day, everything that you do, AI is infused. But my question here is, as a people, what are the opportunities that we see? Because, like I said, NITA and other stakeholders are building, or they build infrastructure. So we have the base, right? And we are getting better by the day. How do we take advantage of it? And how do we regulate this in a safe environment? Because, like they say, if you can't see it, you can't manage it. If you can't manage it, you can't control it. So it's just what it is. Next slide, please. Now, like I said, Oracle has developed a lot of solutions based on corporate, government, and enterprise needs. So we have, for example, in Norway or so, they are doing smart forests, and they are using drones and AI to manage their forests. Can you imagine? We have other very interesting, use cases of AI that we can't, there's so many of them, but there's just about 3 of them that we will show to you. And after that, I'll throw a question at all of us and see how we can begin to think about the positive use of AI. I was scrolling through my WhatsApp the other time, the status, and a friend of mine had Obama, right, dancing. I'm sure somebody has what we call the photo crop, right? And Obama was dancing, so, and he has written AI. So I asked her, is it AI that he said, yes, AI. I said, hey, AI, bre. Everything now is what? AI, and I think as a people, as usual, it has gotten to us, and we don't seem to appreciate what is at hand and how best we can use it to our benefit. So the videos that we show now is more of use cases that will tell us, just a couple of 3 videos, that will tell us how other countries are adopting AI to achieve their set of this. Please play the video.
At National Grid, ESO, we have a very specific mission, which is to ensure that everyone in GB gets power when they need it. We operate like the motorway network of the electricity grid within the UK. The area that I look after looks at using machine learning to accurately predict renewables so we can lower the carbon footprint of the UK energy system. To give you an example, generators have gone from hundreds of generation sources to literally millions in the last decade. Each of them have their own distinct behaviours, some of which we control through a control centre, some of which are purely weather dependent in the case of, say, solar or some of the wind. So our job is to try and predict that as accurately as you can, and that's where the machine learning tech really pays its corn. Before the current OCI solution that we use for machine learning, we used more classical Oracle databases to analyse the information. OCI was the first to come out with the new NVIDIA Tesla Cloud solution. If you look at the tensor cores, they run around about 125 teraflops, and even so, even at full chat, they only use about 300 watts of energy, which is maybe a tenth of my kettle at home. It allows us to run models and datasets far in advance of anything we'd done before. It allows us to see patterns that we couldn't see before. It allows us to see patterns in data that are not obvious to humans. The first version that we actually produced with the machine learning was around about 40% more accurate than the previous version that was in production at that time. I remember the first time we ran a really good GPU query on it, and we were expecting it to take maybe a few hours, and it ran in minutes. And we thought it hadn't actually executed, but it had. It's a really big improvement. Oracle just works. You can trust it.
Artificial intelligence is still in kind of a nascent phase. There's a lot of amazing applications that have been deployed and have changed the world, which is why there's so much investment, but there's so much more opportunity to deploy AI. The hardest part of getting started with a new application of AI is building that data set, because the best AI is going to be built on the best data. What you really need to build is a machine that's constantly refining your data, improving it, enlarging it. And the amount of compute that's necessary to train these models is just absolutely staggering. We need extraordinarily optimized hardware and software that can actually deliver that performance And it's transformative to have access to large amounts of GPU compute on cloud infrastructure. I'm really excited about training these large language models on the Oracle Cloud. Oracle has its roots in managing data. We're excited to, push the limits on the scale of models. The reason that the GPU has gotten so much faster is that we've specialized it for AI. So the hardware has been designed to do this artificial intelligence calculation. And then we've also been able to connect many thousand of them together. So instead of just using 2, we're using like 4,000 to train a model. And so you multiply all those things out, and we're training models that are millions of times bigger than what we could do 10 years ago. I think that we're going to see a lot of assistive technologies for programmers, for office workers that make advantage of large language models and really change the way they do their work. For example, Oracle has a really great connection with a lot of industrial customers. And as we're trying to use artificial intelligence to bring about a new industrial revolution, I think those connections are going to be really valuable. I'm hoping that the partnership between NVIDIA and Oracle is going to help bring that about.
Artificial intelligence is changing everything. Consider the way mobile devices have reached every facet of our modern lives. Artificial intelligence, or AI, will leverage mobility and magnify it tenfold. Consider how you search, how you shop, how you drive. AI will change and improve all these things, including how we communicate. Customers already prefer mobile messaging to any other communication channel. And it's not only messaging between friends. This includes interacting with businesses. And if your customers want to reach you via messaging apps, and you get thousands of inquiries, each expecting a quick response, it's a great problem to have. But how can you scale your operations and not disappoint your customers? Introducing Oracle Digital Assistant, a feature of Oracle's cloud platform that lets you create AI-powered assistants that connect to your back-end applications. Digital assistants use natural language processing and machine learning to identify intents, follow context within a conversation, and automate engagements, allowing conversational interfaces to respond to users in an efficient and yet natural way. Businesses now can engage customers in a personalized manner through popular messaging apps and platforms like Facebook Messenger and Slack, or add a chat interface to their own branded apps. Oracle Digital Assistant even supports speech interfaces like Siri and Alexa. Now, your business can truly scale by automating repetitive inquiries that can be easily handled by an intelligent digital assistant. When a digital assistant can't answer a question, it still can transfer the conversation to your expert staff. This frees employees from the repetitive and mundane so they can work on more interesting problems. It's a win-win. How does it all work? We use advanced natural language processing and artificial intelligence to drive a contextual dialogue with users. This dialogue is tied to custom components you define and develop, letting you connect your digital assistants to multiple back-end systems. An easy-to-use environment helps you build, test, and deploy digital assistants. Oracle Digital Assistant is part of Oracle Cloud, the industry's broadest and most integrated public cloud. To learn more, visit oracle.com/digital-assistant.
Thank you. I think the video is very self-explanatory, but this all began as a journey, as Charles said it, and you could see that Oracle partnered NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the #1 AI enterprise company in the world. They are, in terms of gaming, in terms of health, they are bringing out industry solutions that are changing lives. So with the agreement that we saw there, we make this not only practical in certain parts of the world, but everywhere. So the journey that we've started, since Oracle has been here and working with NITA, is driving towards that transformation, that level of transformation for Ghana. The beautiful thing is we have OCI here. And we are as some of our brothers rightly put it. They asked very sensitive questions. Are we able to translate a lot of our school stuff into other languages that we can use in other rural areas? Are we? I think from GSMA they made a very key question that are we able to have some of the assisted stuff in different languages? But these require systems working together. They require moving away from the practical, manual way of working. As my friend from the e-government said, we are helping they're helping the whole government transform from manual documents to what? Digital. Now, and I think that journey, we are almost there. So we are moving away. We are changing from manual processes. Luckily, NITA is driving and supporting that with a strong infrastructure that can manage, hold, prepare, and provide that data when needed in lightning speed. That is the key that we need, actually. And what I'm saying is there are a few steps that we need to take, and we are doing that. We are transforming the way we work. The next step is we are integrating our applications. And thirdly, we are cleaning the data in the process, because there was one key thing that he said: the best AI depends on the data that you have. So for us to use AI efficiently to answer questions around agriculture, to know that, okay, we have this amount of farms that have these issues of crops there. Are we going to use a drone technology, or we are going to get someone to go and get the data? And with that data, we can quickly know that, with this amount of data coming, it means we need to spray this chemical to it so that we prevent this occurrence. That's where we are moving to. And I'm very happy to say that Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is built on data, and it's built on not only harnessing data, it is also cost effective. If you realize, if you look at the Premier League, if you look at sailing GP, and if you look at the Formula One, they all work or use OCI, or Oracle Cloud, and the AI functionality to run, because of its durability when it comes to data management. So I think the future that we are in, I don't think the future is yet to come. We are in the future now. This is the future we're talking about. And I want to make a promise that come next year, we will not be showing examples of various countries using AI, but working with NITA, we'll be showing examples here in Ghana, in Accra, where people are using AI from healthcare, from the government to other industries, and really changing the lives of us here in Ghana. Thank you.
Next slide, please. So you can see Emmanuel was talking about regulated use of AI. Because it's going through NITA, it's going through government. Then what it means is we can manage the data, we can manage the usage, we can control it. What about my kids, for example? They use an AI to help them do their homework. So your kids come home, they have access to internet, they have access to applications on the internet, and they're using this tool that helps them to do the homework. Okay, this is a scenario, quick one, so that we can leave. If my kid says he's been asked to write myself, and he asks the AI application to say, my name is Emmanuel Safa Osei, or Shalin Safa Osei. Can you help me write about myself? Of course, there'll be, if the interaction it's been going on for a very long time, the AI can immediately produce something for you, right? Or ask some basic question. Good. Now, when she produces the homework, takes it to the teacher. Okay? The first question is, should the teacher accept what she has done? Because was it done by my child or was done by the AI. Secondly, when my child was doing the homework, and this is practical, it happened to me. They mentioned it to me that they are using this tool to help them. I told them, does your teacher approve of it? And what is your teacher going to say? So here comes the issue of regulatory and total responsibility. I know most of these things are driven from regulatory point of view. So the likes of NITA, and I'm happy they are working. I'm sure WTF will also work with them. We have the cyber security. We have a lot of IT government agencies, and I think they are working together now. So at that point, you see the questions that are coming up. So now we are entering into what we call the ethical AI, right? And these are open areas where I believe a forum like what Doc presented will help us to define. Yes, we think globally, but we have to act locally, right? So we need to define regulations that will help us to manage the AI era positively, right? And that it shouldn't, it shouldn't just be government. As individuals, I told my kids that yes, it can help you, but I want to believe that if the teacher gets to know that what you did was copy and paste, you will not get the full marks. On my side, that's probably what I can do, because we don't have any regulation that says that this amount of content that goes into an educational material produced by, it's not there. So these are areas, gray areas, that every day will be popping up. So for me, even though my question will be this, right? Okay? I believe that what is missing here, that I intentionally left because I wanted to talk about it, was it is also our individual responsibilities. Because it's not all AI engagement that will be regulated by like what Emmanuel was talking about, going through NITA, these are, but our kids, our society, are exposed to the other side, to the World Wide Web. And therefore, we need to have a regulation that also has visibility. So your regulation should not be just paperwork and legal. Because if you can't enforce it, so if you have the technology that allows you to have visibility into what is going on, and also to be able to regulate it, to control it. So this is what I'll leave here, and thank you very much for having us as Oracle.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles Osei. So those of you who think you know AI is not only ChatGPT. So there's a lot that AI can actually do than just ChatGPT and copy and paste your assignments. So I believe by next year, like you said, there's going to be a lot of great things AI will be doing for the country. Okay, so next up is a presentation by MTN, and I would like to call Mr. Benedict Bentel up here to do a presentation. Please let's welcome him as he comes up.
Hello everyone, good afternoon, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here. I'll try to keep this under 15 minutes. First of all protocols observed. I do not want to make any mistakes, so apologies. And if you notice a change in your program as well, I am partially responsible, so again, apologies for being late. And yes, let's kick off. So I'm here on behalf of MTN. I'm a senior manager with the Enterprise Marketing and Portfolio Management part of the business division. It's a long title. But basically what we do is handle the development of innovations and solutions for the general public and for businesses as well. MTN over the years, over probably its iterations over the past 2.5 decades or more, has invested a lot of money, billions of dollars into innovation and providing solutions. But what's happening now is our transition from just being a telco to being a technology company or a tech co. And you realize our regulatory shift starts to now go more into NITA as well as the NCA and the Data Protection Agency. So this is a very important
part of what we are doing. This is a very important part of our journey. We want to congratulate, first of all, NITA for launching the ICT Week and also for the World Tech Forum. This is something very exciting that we hope to be part of now and into the future. I'd like to talk about a few things that we are doing in terms of the technology space to drive this whole agenda. I think we are moving away from just voice, data, and SMS. You don't need to worry about the slides. There will be no slides. It will be a conversation. We are moving away from just voice, data, and SMS. We initially had the lowest end of the technology stack, which was connectivity. Basically, getting people connected, getting businesses connected. Now we are moving far away from that. We currently have a super app that has over 2 million members. That's the Ayoba, 2 million active subscribers. And people have micro apps in there that all these subscribers can access. We also have arguably the largest fintech organization, Mobile Money Limited. At our last count, I think we had about 12.9 million subscribers on mobile money. And this has been one of the great innovations of MTN. Aside from that, where we are going into the future, one of our key projects is the Chinosis Marketplace, which is an API marketplace, basically. Right now, you can go in there, access APIs for solutions for government, solutions for banking and finance. Right now, if you want to probably verify a customer's KYC as a bank, let's say somebody comes and presents their phone number. They don't need to give you all their information. They just need to give you permission to access the rest of their information. And an API can pull all their registration details for you, and then you can start the process. And this is just one of the APIs available in our API marketplace. There are quite a few APIs in there. If you feel there's an API in there or an API that is not in there that you want us to develop, we are constantly developing new ones. So any functionality, any use case that you have as well, you can engage MTN, we can develop that API, and based on our subscriber base, or based on even other external factors, your API can function between your application and that database. Currently, we're also doing a few innovation hubs and projects. Every year we have the Momo Hackathon, we have the Ayoba Hackathon. This encourages developers in the technology space to come up with new ideas, especially the young entrepreneurs, software developers. They develop very innovative apps that can help the nation, that can help businesses as well. And we hold both the Momo Hackathon and the Ayoba Hackathon every year. And we constantly sometimes add some of these solutions to our own portfolio and serve the nation or the subscribers in our base with it. Apart from that, we're also partnering with a few large, it's small to large, but then a few digital names in the space who have solutions that benefit segments. So we have a partnership with a company called Prepis that has solutions for farmers. We partner with someone like Impuntu to develop solutions for SMEs. And we're looking forward to, out of an engagement like this, other SMEs or other developers, other people in the space, technology companies who want to partner with MTN to provide solutions for the country. We are more than happy to have those kind of discussions. Aside that, we're also driving technology thought leadership. I think this year we started the CTIO Roundtable. It's basically a technology forum, which is now going to come under this umbrella. We are going to humbly submit to NITA's leadership when it comes to the technology forum and partner with NITA to kind of drive this, and then we follow going forward. This is going to drive the adoption or the creation of that technology leadership in this country, all the great minds in technology who are going to come up with where we are going, where we are, the policies and the governance around that as well. So NITA will be looking forward to that. We also have a few services in the industry that's going to be driving digital and converged services as well. I'll just run through them quickly. This is not a product pitch, but just to let you know where we've come from just providing people SIM cards with voice, data, and SMS to what we are doing right now. I think in the space of about 2 or 3 years, we added about 130,000 broadband subscribers to Ghana's internet connectivity. So we drove internet penetration for schools, homes, organizations, and this was through fiber connectivity as well as our famous TurboNet. TurboNet currently is on hold. capacity issues, but as we start to add on more capacity, Turbonet may come back, and then we continue to drive 4G inclusion and fiber. We also managed to connect quite a few mobile money subscribers, like I mentioned earlier, 12.9 million at the last count. I think we've crossed 13 million. In the business space, we've launched software-defined wide area networks. I always make a mistake on that. And this is one of the services that likely comes under the regulation of NITA. And this basically revolutionizes how organizations connect their branches and all that, and basically puts everything in a soft environment where they can manage their branches, manage their links and all that. We've also launched Unified Communications for some years now. Unified Communications provides audio and video conferencing solutions that match or even surpass Zoom and Teams. This allows people with normal mobile phones to be able to just connect to a conference bridge that maybe a church is holding a retreat, or an organization is holding a large conference. As many people can dial in from their normal YAM phones as possible, and you can have a fixed standard fee to charge everyone who logs in. That also comes with the call center solutions. So most of the stuff I'll be mentioning will be ICT solutions that fall under NITA's regulation as well. And then we also, of course, have our data center co-location infrastructure as a service. We've provided solutions like the Messenger that allows people to reach large masses of people in real time, but you reach your own base. You don't just spam people who are not in your base. And then we've also provided the business manager, which basically allows SMEs to start formalizing their operations. So the supermarkets who used to record in notebooks, those who don't do their accounting, those who don't know how to file their taxes and all that, can do that now through the business manager and basically digitize everything that they do. This is very important because we've been trying to drive that informal to formal move for especially the SMEs, small micro SMEs as well. And then we also, in the coming future, probably this year into next year, we are launching software as a service. So now people will be able to purchase their Microsoft solutions, their entire suite, using maybe mobile money, and for your organization or per an individual if you're an entrepreneur. The Azure Stack is also coming on, so I'm sure the banking and finance industry people here, based on where the policy is going, will be able to provide the Azure Stack services as well to organizations like that. Please, this is not, probably, although I'm speaking on behalf of MTN, most of this is also applicable to the telco industry as well. I have worked with Vodafone and Airtel Tigo before ending up at MTN, and as a group, the Chamber of Telecoms are all trying to drive this digital agenda as well. The other thing to mention is the cloud infrastructure that we are currently working on, or cloud services that we are working on to also drive the technology adoption. Data as a service is an area that we are currently exploring. We may go live with the data as a service solution probably towards the end of the year. That's a very important one for us, considering the value of data at the moment. Fortunately, we have a great regulator in place who monitors how data is transferred, how data is kept, how data is stored in our organization, and we work closely with the data protection organization on that. And then finally, I would like to mention just about 2 or 3 things that we've done for the SMEs that can help drive this agenda. WebWays now, WebWays is our new solution that allows SMEs to basically get in touch with us, submit a few details, and within 24 hours they have their website. It requires a very low learning curve, so we realized most SMEs do not have the technical capability, especially the micro side, to design their own websites. Now you have the domain, everything done, your 1-page, 2-page, 3-page website done for maybe a vulcanizing service down the road in a matter of 24 hours. We'd also have the Business Hub, which has dynamic bundling there. The Business Hub would have all MTN's ICT services and all our products there. But the key one I'm mentioning is the dynamic bundling, because now customers tend to want to create their own bundles. They don't want to be limited to, you have this amount of data, this amount of voice, this amount of SMS. So now any individual can go in there, create their own voice, data, SMS, customize it how they want it, and send it to 100 of their employees, or send it to maybe 1,000 teachers, or send it to their own self. So we put the power in the hands of the customers now. We're not going to be limiting them into what kind of bundles are available for their connectivity. And then in addition to that, we add value-added services. So those software applications I mentioned, you can now buy your Microsoft service and a voice bundle all in one. And then high purchase, of course, your new smartphones and your laptops and all that. Am I still on time? Okay, great. All right. Now, very important statistic here. Ghana was the second fastest growing country in the Global Innovation Index for last year. We were only behind Botswana, but we were ahead of countries like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, and co. Now, although we were the second fastest growing, we are still at 95 in terms of rankings. Now, we are on the right track with programs like this, and programs like what MTN does with the CTIOs from and whatnot, but the goal is to keep driving that with these kind of solutions, keep driving innovations. And with that, I want to make an appeal to the people here, and probably anyone else listening in. If you have great ideas that you want MTN to partner you with to deliver to the market, we are more than open to listen. We are no longer limited to telco services. Any solution that you feel is digital, technology-oriented, that can benefit the nation, let's hear your pitch. Let's see what your solution looks like. And we'll back it with the necessary infrastructure to be able to deliver it. And like I mentioned, we've partnered with people like Preppies and Mpuntu and Haptel, a few other Ghanaian startups, and some in the African space as well. And we hope to get more of this going forward to continue to drive that acceleration that we are on as global innovators. Finally, I want us to just, in that same space, imagine the situation where right now, MTN is capable of partnering with one of you here and the government to ensure that every public transport vehicle now has a monitor in it that monitors the driver's sleepiness, the speed of the vehicle and all that, and can control road safety to an extent. We have the capability to partner with the Ministry of Health and an innovator here to provide e-prescriptions where you no longer write a prescription on a paper, but you just get to the pharmacy and mention your phone number, and the database has your last prescription stored in there, and then you are provided. This is what we are trying to drive towards. We currently have the ability to provide electronic elections, although that's a dicey matter for Ghana. The trust ecosystem is ready now, and we feel once you have the trust ecosystem, and you also have the necessary digital infrastructure or technology to support it, the possibilities are endless. And we're looking forward to partnering NITA, partnering a lot of startups, tech innovators in the space to do more in the space. So I'd like to end on that note and once again congratulate NITA for this. Looking forward to great collaborations in the future to come. If there are any questions, we'll take it during the Q&A. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Benedict. We still have like 20 seconds, so well done. All right, so thank you very much. Please, let's give him a round of applause. And also, let's give a huge round of applause to the various people who came to do the presentations over here. So next up, we have 20 minutes of question and answers, okay? I may reduce it to 15 minutes. We are going to try and be brief with that. The questions don't just end here. I mean, after the whole session, we are going to have a networking session. So you can still get a chance to ask the various questions you want to ask the various speakers. So I'd please call on the various speakers to come up front, to sit right at the front row seat just in front of me here. Benedict, Mr. Bentel, kindly sit in front here. Then I would allow one question each for the various presentations, please. For the sake of time, one question each, okay? So you kindly come here, you give me your name, your organization, and your question, and then and who you are addressing, okay? So thank you. Please come up here. Hello, kindly come up.
Yeah, hello. My name is Roger Ba. I work with Goyle PLC. Okay, so my question is to Smart Workplace. Okay, so solution is developed on Microsoft environment. 365 is a cloud-based solution. All this data that is being stored, I know NITA is now providing cloud as a service. Is it that the data is stored locally or is distributed through Microsoft Enterprise Cloud? And if it is, what is the regulation saying, especially organizations that have critical data that needs to be stored locally? Thank you very much.
All right, so thank you. We encourage those who have installed, they do a backup for their data. So you can have, in fact, you can even have multiple backups. You can have local, you can have your own private cloud, just to make sure that you have the comfort and safety that you want.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Don Quantisem, Gap Health.
So thank you very much. My colleague from Goyle, thank you. So there's also a hybrid setup for the smart workplace that is hosted at the National Data Center. Okay, before we went through this, we got clearance from data protection and all that. So we are following the rules. In terms of what he said, you can also back up, but there's a hybrid setup within the National Data Center. I just wanted to add that as well. Thank you.
But I think, well, you're on Office 365. I know you're on Office 365.
Yeah, so I want to know how prepared, yes, Don Quantisem is my name. Yes, I'm with Public Health. I also work with Gap Health. So I would like to know how prepared is your organization to fight AI? Looking at organizations constitute people and infrastructure. So going forward in the future, how are you prepared to combat AI? Okay. And then the second one is just a quick one. Yes. So the one who spoke on the World Forum, I don't know whether he represents World Forum or World Forum Ghana, because his presentation focused mainly on Africa and Ghana. And looking at globally, we have 7 continents. How I wanted to know the best practices in some of these countries and how it can help us progress. Thank you.
AI.
Because the question was not directed to any of this company. Let me take a national view on that. There is a national AI strategy that Ghana has developed, plus a data governance strategy, which would eventually be turned into policy to help us. So that is in front of our minister, who would work on it, and then we would disseminate that. All these providers would have to abide by those strategies, okay? So I wanted to answer that for you. And I think the World Tech Forum is actually an organization. They've registered it through his presentation. They've registered it. World Tech Forum is theirs. They come under the Chartered Institute of ICT. It's a group that they formed, and they are working with government institutions to try and deliver these things. We've always said that government cannot do it alone. So if private institutions want to come together to engage government to work together to get these things done, I think that's in order. And so that's the thing. So it's not a government thing per se. You are looking at me, so I want to be sure that you understand. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Sherry Thompson.
Sorry, Sherry. I just wanted to add.
Okay, no problem.
I just wanted to add to that answer.
Sorry for that. AI, I don't think is something that we are fighting or we need to fight. So that's the key thing I wanted to put out there. Something we work with and regulate. So.
Thank you. I think that's what. So AI is not an animal who is come to kill us. It's a technology that has come to stay. And like I said, we need to find a way of how we can positively use it to our advantage. There's nothing we can do. And that's what things are there. And I'm happy they are doing it. So we shouldn't have any problem. But you also have a responsibility.
Okay, Sherry Thompson. I represent so many different companies, it's crazy. But I was part of the working group for the Alliance for Affordable Internet. And this is to you because I'm an MTN customer. Yeah. My son is coming in December. He's coming from the US. He's coming to insult me because you all don't have speed here. Now, granted, Ghana is, I think, #1 for speed in all of sub-Saharan Africa. Congratulations. Let's go ahead and clap for that. But I think the highest speed we got when he visited the last time was 48. And he was insulting me. He says, why don't you move back to the States? It's not even developed. It's not even developing. We're, somewhere. Because, the States, he calls his internet service provider when it goes down to like 300. And I'm sitting here going, where do you get your speed from? But he's with a corporate somebody, so they give him speed. So he's spoiled. What's happening to us? Why is it that it takes 2 days for me to upload to the cloud? Oh, help me out. I want not to be insulted by my son. Thank you.
Okay, it's always a dicey situation when a question on speed or customer experience comes up. So I'll try to be as proper and honest as possible. Yes, you were right. In sub-Saharan Africa, Ghana currently has the best internet speeds. However, we do not like comparing ourselves to that. Our standard is to provide our customers with the better experience than what they are currently getting. It's come to the point where even as MTN, we cannot compare ourselves to competition in Ghana. And regardless of what our customers are experiencing right now, they get used to that good experience and they expect better. So in terms of technologies, the fiber can go as high as you want. If you got 40, I'm sure you saw some faces, some people actually amazed you got 40. And yes, so 40 Mbps is actually above average. Yes. So what happens is there may be a few factors. There may be a capacity issue in the area where there's a congestion issue that needs to be addressed, and then maybe capacity is boosted in that area. Usually we work with the regulator to get more capacity. At any point in time, we want to add on more capacity to serve our customers, but the process of getting more capacity has to go through the right channels. Currently, mobile penetration in Ghana is 144%. People are holding 2 or 3 mobile phones, and it's amazing the adoption of mobile in Ghana, but the technology needs to catch up and overtake so that customers actually have a seamless experience, upload something in a few seconds. What I can tell you is probably after this, I want to get details of the location and all that, and we can see if it's a niche thing and work on it. But generally, our goal is to keep improving the internet speeds for Ghanaians. And yes, we are all spoiled, but we have the right to be spoiled on internet, and we want better, and we'll keep providing better. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Lawrence. I'm coming from St. Louis. So I have a question for the Smart Workplace the presenter. So from the presentation, I realized that the platform actually enhances productivity and collaboration. But I would like you to elaborate a little bit on how the platform can actually help in fostering in cultural innovations and then adaptations. Thank you.
Maybe I also like you to explain more about the
So when it comes to the work environment,
Yes.
how would the platform be able to help people to be able to generate ideas, to be able to adapt to the current trends? That's exactly what I mean.
Okay, so maybe is it knowledge?
Knowledge-based ideas, any ideas?
So whilst I was presenting, the system is very extensible, so I couldn't exhaust everything, but you can look at the aspect of e-learning platforms. Like I mentioned, currently, what we do currently is that people go for even training. They have training materials, they have training resources, they have things that they bring together, they want to share with their team, and there is no place to put it. And so I've gone for training, I have some tutorials. When I come in, traditionally, I have my team members. There's no place, there's no platform for me to put that, even training materials, to share that knowledge with them. But with this, you're able to do that. So you're able to upload whether tutorials, training materials, new ideas, new knowledge, articles. You can be able to share that. You can even initiate conversations, forums. So all of these platforms and tools for interaction and for learning are available for you to be able to use to share that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Ifa Peter from Central Regional Coordinating Council. My question goes to MTN. Hello. Yes. My office has a tablenet, and during the SIM card re-registration, we couldn't register it because the officer who used his details to register is no longer a staff of the office. He is unreachable. This is the situation. The router has over 200 gig of bundle on it. We can't access it. We've written to MTN. MTN is requesting for an official letter from the person. He is unreachable. So please, let's take it as if this person is no longer alive. Does it mean we can't use the router?
Okay. So again, I'll try to be as proper as possible, but I'll be as honest as possible. The registration process for a business is different from the registration process for an individual. It looks like the mistake that was made was the person registered it as an individual. So then ownership sits with the individual. Just a minute. Usually when it's a business registration, it's registered in the name of the CEO, but then there are designated officers who can make changes to the account if required. And the business unit handles those kind of registrations. In this case, if they asked for a letter from the person, it is because of experiences we've had where someone tries to come and take ownership of another person's line. So therefore, our standard position is we need to get consent from the person whose name is in the system that, yes, indeed, I no longer work with these guys, so go ahead. But there are exceptional circumstances where you can provide certain evidence. For example, it's located here. This is our office. This is our CEO. He can confirm he owns the business, blah, blah, blah. Then we take those things into consideration and then take action on changing the details on the account. But it's for the safety of the public that we usually require the consent of the owner of the line. So in this case, we can probably meet outside, can take the details, and then we can work on an exceptional circumstance for you. All right?
Everyone, my name is Nakia Carter. No, thanks. My name is Nakia Carter. I'm from NTC Techs in the States. We're a Microsoft partner. I'm also here with Harry Carter, who is from Griffin Consulting, also a Microsoft partner. So we are in M365, just like you were talking about. But my question is, we're here to help push this IT agenda forward in Ghana. We're here to help. We want to make sure that we help the locals get the training that they need, get connected to opportunities, but are able to stay here in Ghana so that they can contribute to the economy and keep everything flourishing and everything. And also stay home, you know? It's not as safe out there as y'all might think it is, especially in the States. Don't go to the States. But anyway, my question is, we heard about the World Technology Forum, and we're getting involved with that. But For ITC, the week and the initiative, how are folks supposed to get, if you're interested in helping and you're from the community that you need the help from, how would you get involved? And I believe that would be for, yes, so right there.
So if I heard your question right, how do you get involved with the World Technology, the ICT Week? Sure, we will see you after we are done. We just launched it, and the plan is next year we are planning a whole week-long activity. Some of the discussions we'll be having is that we want to go to even some of the universities and then bring in companies, do workshops, train, and all sorts of things. So we'll take your details, and then we want to know how you want to participate, and we'll definitely get you involved. Yeah? Thank you.
Please let's give ourselves a round of applause. We're very brief, with MTN leading with the most questions. So I think we are actually done with today's program. Final things to do is to have a word from the Director General of the National Information Technology, then closing remarks from Mr. Musa, Head of Regulatory. Then we can have lunch, and we are done for today. It's a wet Wednesday afternoon. Please, with a huge round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Richard Ochofosu to give us a word, then the closing remarks later from Mr. Musa.
Thank you, Kelly. Let's give it up for Kelly for holding us together as the MC, our own homegrown MC. What can I say? Thank you very, very much. We launched this thing yesterday, and we figured that we'll give a second day for our partners, some of our partners, to come and talk and tell you what we've been doing. But the long and short of it is that we heard from eSolutions, who has been our partners with the Smart Workplace product. Now, I'll be very honest with you. When COVID hit and there was a lockdown, Ghana government did not shut down. And that was because we had a solution called the Smart Workplace. In fact, before COVID, Cabinet itself was using the product and testing the product. So it was no-brainer when COVID happened and we all had to stay at home. We just have to take this product, which was used in the office, and say, how do we use it any place, anywhere, anytime? And I'd like to thank our partners, eSolutions, for such an amazing product. All my time at NITA, I think it's been one of the success stories. How many people do we have? How many countries have we had come to see Smart Workplace? I recently hosted Ansut, which is our equivalent in the Côte d'Ivoire. We've had Senegal come through. Zambia too just came through not too long ago. And all of these people are interested in using this product to serve for government and others. It's not just for government. So Smart Workplace, I knew the product when I was in private sector, to be quite honest with you. It's just that I couldn't afford it at the time. But it is not just for government. So if you are a private institution here and you are thinking of a product that would allow you to work paperless, consider it. But for government, it has worked like a charm for us. So thank you once again. I also like to thank our partners, Smart Infraco. In fact, they've taken a lot of the headache away from me. One of the headaches that I used to have when I became the Director General for NITA was the cost of fiber cuts for me. I was spending money a lot on repairing our fibers and rectifying them. The data center, my office, when I open my office screens, blinds, all I see is the the cooling system. And I was always worried whether this cooling system was going to shut down or was going to stay up. So, and all these things, because we had left the infrastructure in such a poor state, okay? For me, the truth is the truth, and let's be honest with ourselves. the infrastructure was in such a poor state. And why was the infrastructure in a poor state? When we go and commission service or provision service to serve government institutions, and they are here and they know themselves, they were not paying government. Okay? So we provide service, and you don't also pay us. And therefore, we find ourselves in a difficult situation. We cannot improve the service. And then NITA got a bad name. Oh, NITA, we don't deliver. But the NITA of then and the NITA now is a different story. Thanks to Smart Infraco, who has taken over the government infrastructure. That's the data center, the fiber network, the metro network, and all that. And they are delivering the service as it should. If you don't pay, as a private company, they are interested in their money, they will cut you off. And that happens everywhere else. Now that language has seeped through the system, people are now paying for the services that they are enjoying. So again, Smart Infraco, thank you for the partnership, and thank you for a good job done. GSMA, I'm just wrapping it all together. GSMA, thank you for coming. I know your officers came to my office and we had discussions on e-government services. And we thank you for the report. We'll study the report. But one thing kind of catches my mind. I use a Samsung Note. All the young girls here, I'm sure, have Apple phones. I don't even know the latest version of Apple. The old ones. Thank you, Sherry. But you are not using these powerful tools in your hands to do economic business, things that will make life better. The young ladies are looking at me. All of you have Apple phones. But you are using it for TikTok, Instagram, taking pictures, and you are not going on to the services that you need to consume government services, pay your taxes, pay the things you need to pay, all right, using these services so that the next time GSMA writes a report, it would be a different report, okay? So please, let's use the government services. But the report is in order. We will study it. Yesterday, they actually took time to meet with the telecom chamber at the Kofi Annan Center to actually outdoor the report. I was meant to be there, but I was here. I couldn't get there on time. But we'll work with the telecom chamber, and we'll study the report, and we'll do what we need to do to change the dynamics there. So again, once again, thank you. You came all the way from London to present this to us, and we are grateful. Thanks a lot. Yeah, please, let's give her a round of applause. Oracle and DataCell. What can I say? Ghana government is a big user of Oracle products. Those of you who have heard of GiftMix, that's what we use to budget and do expenditure in government. That GiftMix runs on Oracle. So Ghana government and Oracle is just like Ghana government and Microsoft. We are joined at the hips, right? And in fact, I can also tell you on authority that government has entered into a relationship with Oracle where we are going to have that OCI, that infrastructure that you saw, that's the Oracle Cloud in the box, be here in Ghana in the National Data Center. So sooner or later, we will be offering Oracle services, Oracle Cloud services from this device. So that is something that we are working with Oracle on. So Oracle will continue to deepen that relationship. And I can also say on authority, I don't have the date, but the date has changed. Oracle and its premium partner, DataCell, is about to offer a training on AI and security for anybody who is an Oracle administrator within government. We'll communicate that information through, I think, 26. Do we know the date for the training? But you've changed it. We were supposed to be the 16th. You changed it. So give me a new date so that we can communicate the date to people so that people can come, government Oracle DBAs can come and understand the beauty of this new Oracle databases, which is autonomous. It does most things automatically. Gone are the days that you are worried about this, you are worried about that. Nowadays, the AI inbuilt in the system actually manages these things for you. So again, Oracle, we thank you for your time here today and sharing with us, and we continue to deepen that relationship with Oracle. MTN, what can I say? Not only are you super telecom provider, you now are entering into, and I love the way that he recognizes that we are working with NITA, we are working with NITA. We thank you very much. We look forward to it because, you see, look, one thing I'll always say about MTN is that whilst the others were busy doing award ceremonies and not investing in their network, they were investing in their network. And I don't see why they need to be penalized in this country to say that they are now too big, they are bigger than everybody else, and they are providing services. They put their money where their mouth is and ensured that they build the right network. So for me, we need to support them. And for me, they have now entered into my area, and I'm partnering with them to do the right things. We'll look forward to the CTO roundtable next year. It was a big success this year. I look forward to incorporating it in the ICT week next year and other things that we'll do with MTN. I like this thing about this API thing. Let's talk a bit more about it. Let's make sure that the APIs are sanitized and there are no hidden backdoors in these codes and stuff like that. But well done. Kudos to MTN, and we look forward to partnering with you to do a lot more. Thank you very much. World Tech Forum. They actually had to leave to have a meeting with the minister, deputy minister at the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization. So they're not here to take any questions. But I met these young people about 6 months ago. They walked into my office from the University of Ghana, and they're like, look, we want to set up a chartered institute, and we've gone to MESTI, they've directed us to you. And I said, well, let's go through the process. Let me outdoor you at this ICT week, which we did yesterday. But out of that chartered institute or that chartered body, they gave birth to a product that they call World Technology Forum. We all heard Dr. Ohene. He's actually not an IT person. He's a pathologist by profession. But he's so passionate. He cuts bodies. That's what he does. That's his specialty. But he's so passionate about technology, right? And I could see the enthusiasm that was brimming from him and the team that came. So for me, I threw them a challenge. I said, well, if you want to bring the world to Ghana, we will support you. So it is their brand, it is their work, but they work in partnership with NITA because NITA is interested in the ICT ecosystem, and we want to make sure that everything works well. But let's support them because government, I've always said in my role, government cannot do it by itself. Government cannot do it alone. So if there are young people who want to change the discourse and bring new ideas to the table, for me, I want to encourage them, as long as they are not breaking any laws. They are doing their own. I've given them a small office in my office. They are doing their own networking, going to the presidency, MESTI, and the rest. We'll continue to encourage them. But let's hope, I am excited to see what they'll bring together next year. Right? I've told them that we will give them a platform under the National ICT Week next year, which we hope to have it every August, henceforth. So we pray that the rains will bear with us next August and it won't rain too much, and we can have everybody join the one-week-long celebration. And on that note, I thank you all very much, those who came yesterday and those who came today. I've seen familiar faces from yesterday who are here today. We thank you. We thank you very much for all the partners who came and spent time with us to tell us what you are doing with the government of Ghana. And I think I'll say thank you once again and give it back to Kelly. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, DG.
One last thing. I also have a partner sitting right in front of me who have been doing some amazing things with us with ECG and Ghana Airport Company. We are about to start a pilot with them. That's Multicom IoT. They are sitting here. Next year, they will have the floor. They will tell us what they are doing with IoT. IoT, for me, is a game changer, right? And I look forward to it because IoT uses embedded system, AI, big data, all those things, okay? So we look forward to what we can do with Multicom IoT, who are seated right in front of us here next year. But I think you guys should have a conversation with MTN. You should have that conversation. So thank you very much. We are here to connect. We are here to collaborate, and collaborate. So see you next year in August. Let us all collaborate. All those in academia, everybody who has a product to share, to show the world, please get in touch with us. Let us have your details. We want to bring out Ghanaian ingenuity and innovation, and the ICT Week will be the forum to do so. So thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you. Please, let's give it up for Mr. Richard Ochifosu. Thank you very much, DG. Okay, so last thing, we'll have the head of regulatory department at NITA, Mr. Musa Issa, to give closing remarks. Then we will have a closing prayer by Akosia Ekuokun, and then we'll have a quick group photograph. Then we'll have a lunch and networking session. So please, let's welcome Mr. Musa Issa as he comes up stage to give his closing remarks.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you all. It is refreshing for NITA to take this opportunity, ushered in by the celebration of the week, to show our appreciation for our stakeholders, key stakeholders we identify as ICT professionals, ICT institutions and companies, as well as users of ICT. We thank you for being with us for all this while. Indeed, NITA Act and technology have conditioned NITA to collaborate with all sectors of the economy. As long as ICT is used as a driver and an enabler to the achievement of organizations' goal and vision. NITA we recognize that the achievement of government ICT digitalization objective is founded on how digitally enlightened Ghanaians are. And we identify these, our key stakeholders, in helping us get Ghanaians enlightened in order that we will use digitalization as a tool to develop our country. NITA's overall objective, as alluded to yesterday and today, is to mitigate challenges of digitalization and to create a digitally interoperable environment for seamless interaction among us. And we do this focusing on network interoperability, data interoperability, security interoperability, and the like, which are the documents that NITA has produced to enhance players in the field to be able to interact with one another. As we deepen our collaboration, NITA will be visible in ensuring that ICT is well regulated in Ghana, ensure the provision of quality ICTs, promote high quality of service. Where there is a need to undertake system auditing within government institutions, NITA will do that to ensure that these institutions achieve their strategic objectives. On this note, we appreciate your patience, your time, and enthusiasm shown for being with us yesterday and today. We hope that next year's celebration will be full of activities such as hackathon and exhibitions. Thank you so much, and may God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Musa. So I'll call on Akosi Akwoku to give us the closing prayer, and we end today's show. Please let's clap for him.
Kindly bow down your heads for a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we bless you for today. We bless you for all the participants present here, and we bless you for a successful program. We pray, Lord, that moving forward, you will help us to foster meaningful working relationships and collaborations. Lord, provide us with the resources to follow through with all the commitments we've made here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. So right after this, we'll take a quick group photograph.